oh, this feels like actually what the Texas I read about.
Was it the Mexicans?
Howdy do.
Click. All right, well, I guess I'm doing tomorrow's show.
Oh, I'm very good at being racist.
Yeah, I don't know if she'd be blind dating without skin. Bare minimum.
Things I want my partner to bring to the table. Skin.
Pretty reasonable expectation.
Bare minimum.
Say hi to Eli. He's racially ambiguous. And Brandon, his hair is fucking fabulous. And Donut, a dark joke disposition. And there's a fat electrician. Welcome to Unsubscribe.
Fuck yeah. All right, well, we get to kick it off.
I know. Oh, grab your drinks on the count of 3.
So we crack these on the countdown from 3.
1, 2, 3.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Unsubscribe podcast. I'm joined, as always, by Eli Doubletap, world-famous comedian, Mr. Ryan Long, soon-to-be Congressman Brandon Herrera, and myself, Batman.
Batman.
Fish guy.
Fishman, and it's great to have you today. Ryan, what's up,
Fish
buddy?
boy. Thanks for coming down, dude.
Do we bring the guns out now, or how does this happen?
Oh, whenever you'd like.
Welcome to Texas.
We need way more drinks.
You think people at the table don't have guns? That's crazy. Yeah.
We sit with those.
You know, it's funny. This, I feel like obviously in the internet, you're in sort of different worlds. People are where you guys are that side of the internet that to me is funny, where you just kind of like, I'll see a video of yours and be like, who's this guy? And just some random guy that's got like 8 million views on every video. You know what I mean?
Right.
Just like who are these? Like, what is this? It's like, you look at the podcast charts, it'll be like Rogan, some guy named Dave, and you know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
That is
the,
weird.
The
when you
different
see-
spheres of influence.
Yeah, but there's people that before, if there was like some enormous TV show, you'd be like, everyone would know that. Where there's just you on the internet being like enormous, and you're just like, what's going on over here?
Meanwhile, you just show up all the time, like my Instagram reels and shit like that.
yeah?
I'm just like, ha, racist joke. That's funny. And we're like 2 minutes in. All right.
It begins, dude. It's weird seeing, as you were saying, those big names that you just do not recognize. It's like Cousin Bill is number 3 on charting on all of Spotify, and you're like, who?
It's cool, yeah.
Cycle through. What the fuck? I've never heard of that individual.
Dude, I follow Nate the Hoof guy on Facebook. And like, I watch this guy. All he does is clean hoofs. This guy's probably a billionaire by now.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Like
Horses? He's a farrier.
He just cleans the
no shit.
He just cleans the horse's hoofs, but he's got every video 10 gazillion views. He's probably, bigger than 90% of Netflix shows just cleaning horse hooves. He doesn't even have to clean them anymore. He does it for the love of the game.
You know the people that go to like film school, that's got to piss them off.
Yeah, of course.
Like I was going to be the next Scorsese, and here comes Hoof Guy. Yeah.
Well, we gotta spray some iodine so make sure it heals nice. Little Betsy, and that's it. It's every episode is just talking what is wrong with that hoof on that cow, and then
and other people are doing so much stuff, having extras in their videos and everything, and this guy's just like, here we go, another $1 billion.
Beast Games or a hoof guy. You're getting equal viewership, and you're like, motherfucker.
It's the what is that? The law of diminishing returns, I think. It's like, you could just clean hooves.
That's crazy. Yeah.
You can mow yards. The lawnmower guy's one of my favorite. He just mows yards for an hour.
Your cousin? Oh,
no, he's a white guy. It's weird. He hires my
that
cousin.
is weird.
But he gets fucking 10 to 30 million views per upload of just mowing a yard. He does it for free now, for love of the game.
Yeah. Yes, it kind of, you box yourself in because you're just like, you have your job that you didn't want to do, and we were talking about, there's a Subway guy, he just films himself at Subway sandwiches, and he's like, well, now he's rich, so he doesn't have to work at Subway, but if that's his business, is filming himself at Subway.
You really painted myself into a corner here.
Subway knows they got him too. That salary.
Yeah. He's $7.25 an hour.
He's the first guy that if he loses his job at Subway, he loses $500,000.
Jared Fogle, I think, would like to say something.
The second guy.
There's the guy who records himself making sandwiches and the guy who fucks children. Sorry, editor, we're at what, 2 minutes?
I'd rather be the sandwich guy.
I hope.
Yeah, plumber influencer, that's another one. There's a few that are plumbers. They're just like, I don't want to be cleaning toilets anymore, but here we are.
I mean, Fat Electrician started. Nick
Yeah.
started as an electrician, and he was just doing little history beats in between until that one.
I mean, he still has his electrician's license. Yep. Like he still does that from time to time, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, yeah.
It was just his boss when the boss was like, "Hey, you're gonna have to make a choice. You have to either focus on the internet stuff more or the electrician." And Nick was like, "All right, so I would choose if I were you the one that makes more money." He was like, It's like, so I can see you at Monday. Oh no, I'm going to the internet.
Sorry, I gotta clock in for the internet.
Yeah,
I mean, that is the internet in jobs, Ryan. How'd you get into comedy?
Your boss is like telling you, he's like, hey, you're late for your shift. You're there with like a gold chain, Lamborghini. Like, oh, am I? I can buy you.
You're late to life.
You pull the Bruce Wayne where you buy the hotel. Like,
Yeah, what got you into comedy, Gizzer, as Mr. Connor was saying?
I'll tell you, also, comedy used to be a job a little bit that everyone would kind of do to then get out of it. Like every stand-up used to be like, then you go and be a movie star and you don't have to do that anymore. But now it kind of feels like it's its own thing where people do want to do that.
Yeah, you get that weird spot also now with, I think Matt Rife set the standard of that crowd interaction. Because I know a lot lot of
Yeah, that's a huge part of it, yeah.
Matt Rife, famously the first guy to do crowd work.
I know, but filming it to
invented
that
it.
level, that took
He might be the first guy to be doing arenas and doing crowd work.
the entire time. Literally.
Yeah.
Shows for
Wait,
you.
does he do?
487C.
All right, I know I was just fucking with you, but like his entire show is crowd work.
Yes, no.
To be honest, I don't know exactly, but I've seen people do that. I remember even like Russell Peters was doing big theaters, and he does a lot of crowd work. And I remember they have like 3 camera guys, and they film the guy that they're talking to and put him on the screen, and it becomes a whole art form.
You got an Olympic sprinter as your camera guy, just getting all the way across.
I'm so tired.
yeah. But no, I started in Toronto, in the Toronto scene. Then
I
moved
fucking
to,
picked up on that Canadian
you
accent.
can tell, eh?
You also mentioned hockey earlier. And I was
yeah.
like, oh, nobody cares about hockey except Canadians.
Some puck, Texas
Taylor.
guys going. We're in real Texas here too, right? When I'm in San Antonio, this is the first time that I felt like I was like, oh, this feels like actually what the Texas I read about.
Was it the Mexicans?
Yeah, what tipped you up?
I think it was the fireworks stores, to be honest.
That was Mexican.
When I see like 5 fireworks stores in a row, I'm like, now we're talking. All right.
I hate that.
Fair enough.
I was driving to the podcast house. There's like fireworks store.
Yeah.
Pretty much
fireworks
everywhere
store.
on any highway around San Antonio, you've got fireworks stores that are like they only open like fucking 3 weeks a year too. Like before 4th of July.
Are they money
before New
laundering
Year's.
operations, you think?
Most likely.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's like what's the Halloween?
Spirit. Yeah.
So Toronto, when's about?
Yeah. Toronto, that's where I started doing comedy. Was there for like 10 years, moved to New York, which is probably the opposite of Texas right now.
Yeah.
So,
Oh yeah.
do you guys think that the
Cold and shitty.
Yeah, it is kind of if you think about it a little bit.
Sorry, Rich.
That's our buddy. He lives.
Yeah, we got a friend who lives there.
Do you guys hate New York or do you like New York?
I would never live there.
I've never been to New York City.
I mean, living there's insane.
Yeah.
It's $10,000 to live in a rat hole.
See, that is. I'm good. No.
Yeah, I just going to a place where all of the streets smell like piss all the time.
Oh, yeah.
I know why Spider-Man's superpower was not having to touch the sidewalk now.
Yeah.
Just gross.
You don't have a choice too. Like I remember when I first moved there, you're just like everything's farted. You're walking around everywhere and you can't use a bathroom, so you're just like, yeah. People are just during the day pissing everywhere.
Oh, legit?
Yeah, kind of.
Well, it makes sense. It smells like it.
I could. No, like even that move. We visited multiple times, and the second I land or I have to deal with anything in a big city, I'm like, Mom, I'm golden. This is quiet all day long, and then $10,000 for a rat hole.
Yeah.
Good to go.
But the comedy scene's big there?
The comedy scene, so people would say that New York's kind of like right now it's New York, LA, Austin's kind of like the third contender is like the part of the comedy scene. Like it used to be you had to move to New York or LA, and probably a lot of things were like this for finance. You had to be in New York, and it feels like that's decentralizing, a little bit, where a lot of people you can make it work in New Austin. And then also there's kind of a theory that a lot of people talk about where kind of like new scenes and energy happen in places where people have low rent. So if everything gets
Interesting.
like if you think of even in music that happens where people's parents can afford a garage, so
Yeah.
a band can actually have drums, you know? So in a city like New York, if you go there and you're 20 years old, like it's pretty hard to make it work. So if you go to somewhere where you can kind of live with a bunch of people and it's super cheap, you can spend all your time on, doing whatever art you're up to for the next 6 years while no one's paying attention.
It's kind of like wherever you can have like a little incubator house. where you have
Yeah.
a bunch of like artists living together. Or
Incubator is
whoever.
the perfect word because it's kind of like you almost need to have like low stakes, making mistakes with no one paying attention to make good things. Like, so
Right.
these scenes kind of always like pop up in different places, but all the best comedians and comedy clubs technically are in New York. So that's kind of like the Silicon Valley of comedy, I'd say.
Yeah, I knew that there's different like comedy clubs and stuff like that are like very famous in like L.A., but I didn't know it was that big in New York. That's just me not being in the industry, I guess. But
It's kind of like same as Broadway, like the live performance part of it took him. People used to say they go to New York to get good and then go to LA to get famous.
right,
All of the things are changing because everyone, there's some Atlanta, there's just a bunch of guys doing their thing in Atlanta and a bunch of guys in Chicago. And now it's like, you're like, well, I don't have to be there if I'm like a touring act. And people are kind of skipping steps where it used to be, okay, you go to New York, then you go to LA or, some version of that. And then you get really good in LA and then you're on some TV shows and then you're kind of touring to your audience and you're like, oh, maybe I don't have to live here anymore. Where it's now people are getting there.
right. Especially like now that the internet, I feel like has jailbroken most of that.
Yeah.
You're able to just, if you're good and you're funny and people like you and you get out there and you make enough content.
Well, I feel like, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, but I feel like there stylistically is kind of a difference between New York comics and LA comics.
Yeah. What would you describe it as? How do you see it?
He didn't think that far.
No. I was gonna compare it as like slightly grittier and funny, and then just like gay. Guess which city's which.
The world may never know.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it used to be. I feel like New York comics used to shit on LA. Now Austin people are shitting. Like there's a kind of like wars always between the cities. But
I feel like the Austin shit is kind of
New York
getting a little aggressive, but
aggressive,
in regards to the like saying the word retard is funny.
dude. Every criticism.
And we're back to
about-
2008.
Yeah.
Every criticism about a scene, there's probably like some true parts and then some overblown parts. You know what I mean? But yeah, it used to be LA was kind of, well, you think actors, it's like more energy than funny kind of was the criticism before. In New York, maybe you could say you iron out all your personality and it's just a guy like doesn't move and tells jokes, but the jokes are really good. So you
There's a
can
lot
ki-
of cynicism there too.
Right, yeah. So you can kind of say like a good thing and a bad thing about every, type of comedy or scene. They always have like the part of it that's good and the part of it that's corny.
Interesting. And then what made you start in? You were in Toronto first, and then you're like, "Hey, okay, now I've expanded into LA."
So
or
I
New
used
York.
I was in like a band, so I was like a music guy. You a music guy? You got tattoos and stuff.
Oh no, Army and anime guy.
Army
He hates me.
I'm gay.
Yeah.
You know,
I
a lot
don't
of-
listen to music. Like Connor's right. I just do not listen to music.
It's
You know-
weird.
We call it psychopathy.
Yeah. A lot of people that I've talked to, it sounds like the kind of the culture of like being a young band guy might be compared to being like an athlete, like the same kind of like a team. You know what I mean? Might be the same as sort of like a a young band scene, and the same as the Army. A lot of people said those
yeah.
three things. It's kind of this, just a group of guys.
If you're bad at your job, you get shot.
Yeah, if you're bad at your job, you get shot. Obviously, the bass player usually takes one.
Yeah. Eli famously bad at his job.
I know. Shit is that?
Say the music thing. Were you in a ska band?
Yeah, well, kind of like punk, reggae, rap, ska. Sort of
God,
thing,
I could be a goddamn detective.
I don't even know what that is.
This is Selector. This is this is kind of the Specials logo, but it was also like a record label in the UK.
So you're telling me
Ghost
that's
Town by the Specials. Fucking love that song.
you're telling me that's not a Blues Brother?
It kind of looks like a Blues Brother, but it's a Selector. Fast forward Selector. You never heard of that?
No, not at all. I'm sorry if I'm just not cultured.
I listen to the Specials all the time at your house.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
his special opened with a ska song.
Yeah,
So
that
I
was a band
Oh,
called
so
Il
you had
Scarlet.
prior knowledge. F- you. That doesn't count.
He did slip that in. I
I could be a detective, Connor, beforehand.
patted himself on the back a lot.
So I Googled you before I showed up.
no.
Let me shut the fuck up. Did you also listen to his special this morning? No. Oh, suck my fucking
I saw the fucking logo. I saw the specials tattoo on his arm. He's opened his fucking special with ska.
It's a reggae band. I'm just
Reggae, and
Captain Hindsight.
he was in a band. Oh, shut the fuck up. Nobody would have intuited that. That's called intuitive reasoning. It's logic. I applied it. I could be a goddamn detective. It's the same shit that Sherlock Holmes used. You can all suck my fat.
If only detectives had access to Google.
What do you mean? I watched his special.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, of course.
Problem solved out on YouTube.
I had
great.
watched a lot of his content beforehand. I didn't need to research.
I just figured I'd come in ready with all of his jokes fresh in my mind.
Oh, I love this so much.
Also found
Welcome
it.
to Unsub.
Feel it,
Oh my God, it's the perfect jeans.
right?
I can leave.
Brandon, feel it.
Get on his shoulders.
Up here, big boy.
Try the perfect jeans out as earmuffs.
Brandon, how perfect are they?
Feels like the perfect jeans.
They're so flexible.
I'm fat. I can actually do squats in them. Usually that's an issue. I'm not kidding.
I'm picturing you doing squats in the gym with these jeans.
I could.
Dude, they are like.
Eli's just mogging on the audience right now.
Finn, make my dick talk.
자러 가야겠다. 네가 늦게 왔잖아.
Now you're watching the ad. And pants season is almost here.
It's always pants season if you're a f***ing adult.
It's August in Texas. We're all wearing jeans.
The perfect jeans.
That's right. Today we're talking about the perfect jean. Brandon, how'd my jeans feel on your neck?
Feels like I need to talk to HR.
But they were comfortable, right?
Absolutely.
This brand, the perfect jean.
It's actually perfect. It's real denim, but not the heavy stuff.
I just like how they finally say that we can say f*** your khakis, which works great pretty much everywhere except for Boston, I'm sure.
Just means the valet is quitting. For a limited time, our listeners get 15% off their first order plus free shipping at theperfectjean.nyc.
Or Google the perfect jean and use code UNSUB15 to get 15% off.
It's finally time to stop crushing your balls and wear comfortable jeans by going to theperfectjean.nyc.
Our listeners get 15% off their first order plus free shipping.
It's lighter, softer, stretchier, and it's not a sex toy.
Not with that attitude.
Use that one, Finn.
And again, that's free returns, free exchanges when you use code UNSUB15 at checkout.
That's 15% off at checkout for the perfect jeans. Connor loves perfect jeans.
He does. They fit him really nice.
Oh, pants.
Very odd that the same day you were in San Antonio last year, you're here again. The 14th.
I've been here before?
Have you not?
I thought I hadn't, but that happens to me a lot where I have.
Good tour.
Oh, there was a pinned comment on your video that was from a year ago.
Dude, it's very possible. But I just told him I've never been here, so.
Oh, shit.
In my mind, I had this is my first.
Glad we made an impact.
Drugs.
Dude, I do that all the time.
I was there, front row. Do you remember?
Yeah. Great
still,
show.
I still don't know America that well, so I do that where I go to places and kind of forget, or I think I've been somewhere that I haven't. But if I've been here
Last year, he's like, oh, Mexicans. Dude. This year, he's like, ew, Mexicans.
If I've been here, that's crazy because I've been saying it the first time here for months.
If he was here last year, he'd be like, oh, Mexicans. If he's here this year, where did the Mexicans go?
We sent him back.
God damn, if I've been here, that's crazy. But I do that.
Same.
Detective.
Yeah, half the information I learned is false.
That's possible. For sure possible.
I don't know who's wrong.
I'm loving this
Yeah,
one.
but no, then so I was doing the music thing, and we were pretty popular in Canada. Toured America a decent amount, but had a bunch of records. And then during that time, we started doing this cable access show. Me and the other guy from the band, Tom Green, kind of that
shit.
world. We were doing it was a lot of on the street stuff.
2000s? What year?
what
What time?
This would have
remember
been, I actually don't know years, but I'll tell you how many years ago. You can do that. So I'm 40 now. That would have been when I was 24.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, 16
Everybody,
years ago.
so 2010.
26 years ago.
Oh,
2006, 2007,
I can't do subtraction.
16 years ago, 2026, 2010.
Yeah, there.
Yeah, so
God,
I was about to bust out a
how old are you
calculator.
guys? Are you into that stuff?
You got TBI. You have an excuse.
I dropped out of high school. I mean, I have so many excuses. I'm 40.
You must have been into Jackass and Tom Green and all that sort of stuff.
40.
Yeah.
Well, you said Tom Green. I was like, oh, you're my age or around there.
The GOAT.
Yeah, that was 03-ish.
Yeah, we were doing all these DVDs. Back in the day, it was DVDs. Right?
Oh shit! So you're recording like old camcorder.
Oh yeah, in
shit.
high school, I was huge into the film and everyone. And then you take the stuff, you put it on the. You put it on the TV. You have to watch it there. You can only kind of like edit it on the thing.
Your parents did way better than mine because you could afford a camcorder.
They weren't that expensive. These like super crappy ones, and you don't need one for the squad.
Oh, that's true. That is true. But yeah, that is. Oh man,
that was the
OG
game back
stuff.
then. Yeah, and then you'd kind of you put them, and then I remember I had like the first iMovie and figured out how to edit, and you're just like sick.
Windows Movie Maker.
Yeah, Windows Movie Maker. Yeah.
What do you guys think? Play. It's a slow intro with sparkles.
Yeah, the star wipe transition.
Yeah, you felt like a wizard.
Yeah, it's fucking sick, dude.
I'm basically Scorsese.
Yeah.
So you were doing that, and then you're like, okay, hey, we're
we're doing all these DVDs and band stuff and whatever, like just filming all sorts of crazy little videos, and then we put it together into a pilot and sold this cable access show that you made $400 an episode for. Did some of that, then sort of turned that into this show at like Byte TV called Ryan Long is Challenged, and then during that time I started doing stand up.
It's called Ryan Long is Challenged.
Yeah.
That's fucking rad.
Not bad, yeah. I actually put some
Ryan
episodes
Long's
of that on YouTube.
Challenge or Ryan
Long is Challenged.
That is fucking dope.
Yeah, and it was like a fake reality show where every episode there's like a new challenge, but it was all messing with people on the street stuff. That was kind of the whole thing.
His challenge is a while.
Yeah, so just doing all that stuff, and then during that time, it was kind of like, oh yeah, maybe I should also try stand up, and then you try stand up, and you're like, I guess that's my life now, because you think it's just like, yeah, you just sort of do that, and then you're just like, no, if you want to do that, it takes over everything in your life, and then you're just like, then I guess I've done stand up almost every night for the last 15 years now.
No shit.
Kind of, yeah.
Jesus.
I mean, at least like 3-4 times a week. Even I probably haven't gone a week without doing stand up, and since I started, yeah.
So I think I know the answer, but I'm just curious. Like, are the jitters now completely gone when you stand up in front of a crowd and you're doing like, crowd work or something improv? Like, do you just know like, hey, I'm a pro at this point, I can just do it?
Yeah, I feel like the only time you get jitters is almost the reverse of what you'd think, where like if you go do some like huge show for 2,000 people, I could literally be just like talking and then go on. It wouldn't even anything.
Yeah.
But if I was doing a show for like 7 people in the city and it was crappy, and then someone that I care about their opinion walks in the room, then all of a sudden you're kind of like, oh, right. And then that's when your brain starts going like, these weird moments, you kind of get nervous for a second.
So what you're telling me is that you don't care about your fans.
No, it's easy because I know.
Right?
No, I think what makes you. Well, I've thought about this before. I go, what makes you nervous? Like even with anything, you go, nervousness comes from I'm not sure how this is going to shake down. Whereas if I'm in a theater with tons of people, I kind of know exactly what's going to happen, and there's nothing that could happen that I couldn't handle. You know?
Like performing to one person sitting on a couch is nightmarish. But performing to 700 people where it's just a blur. It's like, oh, okay, we got this.
So it's like a lack of control.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's my worst fear, performing in small rooms, like to a handful of people. Fuck
Especially
Just
when it's a
one
black
guy.
couch with a camcorder. It's just a very... There's a lot of
that,
pressure.
I've been on that one.
I know what's going to happen. That's he's had control.
Yeah.
But no, like,
No, I've been here before.
Okay, couldn't you say like if you were putting on it like you can probably relate this even like to guns, not that I'm saying that's the whole thing or whatever, but like imagine you were being like, okay, I'm gonna put in a demonstration for my fans. You probably like wouldn't be nervous, but imagine you were kind of messing around and someone that was like really good was like over your shoulder.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay, I know exactly what
you
you're
know what I
talking.
mean?
Yeah. If every video I did, I had Ian from Forgotten Weapons like right over my shoulder, like analyzing everything I did.
Yes.
I would have a bit of a complex.
It's like all of a sudden then you're kind of like, oh, do I even know how to shoot a gun?
Like I know that fact's correct, but is it?
Yeah. So I feel like those little moments like kind of get in your head.
And when you say like people that you respect, like somebody whose opinion you respect walks into the room, you're talking about like other comics.
Yeah, it might just
like,
be even like your boy that you haven't seen in a while. So it's a lot of times, everyone's out on the road, then your friend, people are on the road, and then you kind of see him in the city. You're like, oh, what's this guy been up to? You kind of watch his set for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And then he was like, I actually wanted to work on stuff. Stop watching me. You know what I mean? But yeah, then someone comes in that you haven't seen in a while and you want them to think you're funny. So then they kind of come in and then you're all of a sudden like, fuck, I was planning on bombing right now and like working on all this new stuff.
I was planning on bombing.
Now you're like, what's the newest good
walked
thing
in here
I've been
to
saying?
eat shit.
But what was that change to go to comedy? Because that is like what you're doing, a band element, and now it's, well, I'll just tell jokes. That
That's
is
an interesting
a big step
switch.
for me. Yeah, because that is... we get up, we'll perform in front of like a lot of people, and it's just a podcast. It's crowd interaction. It's an amazing time. But
It sounds sick.
don't have that fear of walking up by yourself and be like,
Yeah, alone's spooky.
and then you're like, boo, and you're like, like
Yeah.
I'd crumble immediately by myself.
Yeah, everything just becomes normal. I mean, I probably wouldn't want to do whatever you did in the army. You know what I mean?
Unfortunately, I don't think most be bad at your job.
I mean, that's a fair, that's a fair jump.
I'd rather bomb in front of 700 people that get shot in the ass.
I'd rather bomb on stage than get bombed. Yeah, that's pretty. Yeah, I think most people take that trade, to be honest.
But then it becomes normal probably at some point, you know?
It does. It really does.
Like, I mean, okay.
My normal is like, ugh, if they shoot me, I hope it's here.
Yeah.
It'll instantly not be my problem.
Yeah, then I'm not worried anymore.
You know what's probably the truth? It's stand-up is the hardest one for the first like 5 years, in that it's like, it's super hard to not be that good at. You know what I mean? And it's
Good
hard
to know there's an easy learning curve.
Yeah, but then after
It's pretty hard for half a decade. It's, you know.
Yeah, probably 7-8 years for people. And then after that, it just becomes anything else. Like once you've been doing it for 8 years and you're like, okay, I have an hour, I can do this. Then it becomes anything else. Whereas like then now I go, sometimes you'll be like, man, this is kind of rough. And then you're just like, yeah, but the other version that other people are doing, you're like then you go in an octagon and fight people to the death. You know what I mean? So you go, it's hard to be, oh man, this is so hard. I got to go stand in front of people and speak.
I will say there's something to be said too about like, especially our podcast format, is because like when you're up there with 5 of your boys, and you know you got an audience that's already like they fucking love, you know, a lot of the shit we've done before, and so like they go crazy.
They're there
That's gotta
for
be
you.
Yeah, exactly. They're there for us. Like we built that community. But like being able to have that versus going up into a crowd of, you know, for example, 200-300 people that you've never fucking met before that maybe don't know you at all.
Yeah.
And have to make them laugh. That seems like a totally different skill set.
Yeah. It all just becomes it becomes regular where you're just like, well, but you know how to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It becomes to use the octagon analogy of like, yeah, that would be hard to have to go fight the best fighter in the world every night, but you're like, well, that's not really what you're doing in that scenario. What you're really doing for that UFC fighter is beating up a guy in a bar. You know what I mean? Where like that actually wasn't that stressful or hard.
Oh, gotcha.
Because you're like, yeah, you're putting together this hour, and it's like now you have this jokes, and you're like, and then the things that work, it works every time. It's kind of like magic in that sense, where you're like, I have this thing, it almost always work, and then your instincts, you have so many different instincts that okay, if this happens, I do this, and they become microscopic, and it becomes like second nature, I guess.
You just do the thing you always do.
Yeah, I think everything like a
you got good at.
mastery or whatever, it probably works similar in like everything. The difference is probably with stand up why it seems maybe sometimes scarier is like if you're like there's 16-year-olds that like form a band and then it's pretty good, or YouTubers like even that are, you know what, I'm gonna start making some sketches, and then within a year you're like, oh, that's actually pretty funny. That curve is more like 5-6 years probably. There's very few people that are just like, oh yeah.
And, well, you're also directly facing the number one fear of most people, which is not only public speaking, but public speaking where you're expected to make people laugh, which is far harder. And so like you have like, I guarantee you, if you talk to most of the people in the audience or whoever, they would rather jump out of a plane than do a 20-minute set in front of 500 people.
I'm saying on the podcast, there's so much comfort because like every time I've been on stage, it's like if you throw out a joke and it fucking bombs, I can just flash eyes at Brandon and I'm like, take over.
Yeah.
Like it's not up to me to, well, you guys didn't like that one.
Instant feedback, and that's what you have to deal with, that instant feedback.
I mean,
of
you
jokes.
are right. That stinks. Like when you're just there and you're eating it and there's nothing you can do, and you're 3 years in, you don't even have the tools. You're like, this is the worst thing I've ever experienced.
What's the hardest you've ever bombed?
So many times. I mean,
What's the one that sticks in your mind though? There's got to be one.
One that's funny is there's certain people that you're just like really not equipped to follow when you're young. And I remember there was this guy, he was in a wheelchair and he went up and he was just like crushing it was in front of a black audience too. So black audiences get like, wow, you know, and
what are you saying? I'm joking.
that to lose them, that their highs are highs, but if they turn on you, they're like, fuck you. So, you know what I mean? Like, and then
What's the best reactions? Like that, they are
if
a
they like
phenomenal
you, yeah.
audience to have because it is over that top reaction.
saying they.
Yeah, I'm like,
the Mexicans, I would call them they too. All white people, they.
I mean, that's
all y'all are they.
Yeah, black rooms is a thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's definitely a thing. So,
but you lost him.
well, this guy went up with a wheelchair and he had like a hand that had cerebral palsy.
Cheat codes.
And this guy was like talking about how he's like fingering girls with his hand, and just black guys are falling out of their chair, dying laughing, right? And then I went up immediately and I said something about like gay people, and like everyone in the crowd was just like, yo, hey, yo, like what? And I remember just being like, I have 9 more minutes. And then about 3 minutes in, this black room, they have like a DJ that plays like get off stage music. And
Oh, shit.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And I'm like, I probably maybe a year into comedy, and this guy's just like murdering. I went up, talked about gay people. Everyone was just like, what? You're about to puke. Like, and then the DJ puts on like music to kick me off stage. Everyone starts bursting out laughing. And I walked off stage and just like walked into an ocean, and I was like, I'm not doing stand up anymore. But then 10 more of those.
Click. All right. Well, I guess I'm doing tomorrow's show.
It sucks, dude. Stand up stinks.
Have you ever woke up and felt like your mattress punched you in your sleep?
I still think it was my wife, but yeah.
Eli, do you have the mattress?
Right here.
A pillow?
No, that's an Eli-sized mattress.
Exactly.
Eli, can I feel the pillow?
Of course.
It's so soft.
GHOSTBED just launched their brand new mattress line.
Every mattress comes with a 20 to 25 year warranty and a 101 night trial period where if you don't like it, you can send it back. I don't know how many stamps it takes, but you could do it. Are you tired of your mail carrier liking you?
You take a razor blade, cut it open. You're like, I always wanted to go to Denver and just hide inside of it. Don't do that, but do try GHOSTBED.
And even better, you can get an extra 10% off site-wide.
When you use code unsubscribe, and then you get to think about us every time you lay in bed.
More than you already do.
Us just cuddled up next to you.
This is on top of their everyday deals on mattresses, adjustable bases, and pillows being up to 50% off versus comparable brands.
GHOSTBED has 60,000 5-star reviews and awards for cooling, comfort, and support. Head over to ghostbed.com/unsubscribe to take advantage of this holiday offer.
That's ghostbed.com/unsubscribe.
Sleep better, stay cooler, or Cody's gonna.
I'll eat your
Ghostbed.com.
Yeah.
What is it now? Do you see your show has to change depending on what location you're at? Because I think that is a big element, like a very large element. We had that same experience with even the employees at certain locations. We're way more opening.
Certain locations.
Certain locations in New Jersey, some would say.
We're way more respect. They liked us versus just hating us for no reason. So
Oh, really?
You see that?
And that's at
with-
your shows?
Yeah.
That's interesting when it's like your fans, and then what do you think it was? Do you think that they just kind of were like expecting something different?
No, the fans loved it. It was the employees.
Oh, the employees.
Employees of the venue.
The fans were pretty much great everywhere.
Yeah.
But you could feel their energy of like a lady walking around, like giving you.
Oh no, like yeah, they made it known.
They like out the gate. We've never been patted down to go in a green room before or in the backstage. Like
Yeah, I'm like, you're patting people down for weapons for our sake, fuckhead. Like,
Yeah.
they're just assholes like the entire time, and we didn't know what we did. It was because we start the show, we tip all the employees.
Yeah, you
get
guys are
tipped
all nice.
out the gate. Like the first thing we do, we haven't seen how you're going to work. It's like here's tips, blah blah blah. I hope just enjoy the show, have fun.
you take care of the people that take care of you. You know, like if you guys have, you're putting on you guys are here helping us put on the show that allows us to do all this for our fans. It's like, yeah, we'll we'll make sure that you're paid accordingly. These people, and well, also Jersey, they weren't allowed to get tipped out. They're not allowed to get fired, and they're not allowed to get tipped. Wow, I wonder why their performance sucks.
Yeah.
It's like,
And that's the only time we've ever had a bad experience ever.
Yeah, and it kind of weighs on you. You're on stage, like knowing the energy of these 9 people that don't like me, and there's nothing I can do about it.
Our phones were going off.
we were getting texts the entire time, like where all of our staff that's like dealing with shit behind the scenes is like, they're bullying us right now. They're like, hey, as soon as you guys get off stage, like while we normally like hang out and everything, bail. We're leaving.
Did you guys talk about it on stage? Did you be like, the staff's a bit much?
No,
here?
we were still fucking super nice. Even said, hey, make sure you tip them out. It was that when we got home, we did an IG story, and then they found out the power of the internet really fucking fast. We're like, oh,
They got review bombed like crazy.
You guys Karen'd them.
yo, dude.
Kind of.
I went to Karen someone last night.
Well, what happened? Tell the
I
story.
went to the Alamo rental place. No shout out to Alamo. And they wouldn't give me a car because I didn't have my passport. I only had my permanent resident card. And they're just like, you have to have a passport. And then they're like, they got the manager and she goes, I don't know what you're trying to do, but you're not getting a car. And I was just like, I'll show you. I pulled up their website and it was like, you just need a valid government ID. And if you look up valid government ID, permanent resident card counts. It's like your status card or whatever. And then so I have my Toronto license.
I was gonna say, would your Canadian driver's
So I
license
have my
not
Canadian
count?
driver's license, I have my permanent resident card, and then like 3 credit cards, like whatever it was. And then she was just like, no. And I'm like, I'm showing you the thing. And then she was like, you can show me all you want. Like, you're not getting a car. And then she goes, that's Texas law that you need a passport. And then I go, and then so I fought with her for a bit and then walked to the next booth over and the guy gave me a car. But I had, it was just
Texas
like,
law, huh?
Yeah, exactly. I went back and I was
The
just
next
like,
booth, the guy was like, "Oh, you have $250. Here's the keys."
yeah. But it was like late at
Trying to
night.
like you stole it.
I was infuriating. I was like, want to review bomb them. Got the girl's name too. Might drop it. Considering it.
So is that though like the different?
If I was on stage in that scenario, because that's what you're sitting in there in that energy, I would figure out a way to get rid of that energy as soon as possible. So if I was for you, you're like, this thing's happening, I would be talking about that immediately. Be like, pretty weird interaction with the staff. Like that would. Because
our audience
like
is a little our audience is we love our community, but
you can do it in a way though. There's an elephant in the room, but you're describing like an elephant in the room, right?
this
Like,
is just on Instagram stories. They
We're
had
in a
like
room full of elephant hunters is the problem.
This is
oh, you're saying you'd be like, staff's really weird.
Yeah.
we.
Stop.
It was
got him.
a review bomb. This is just that evening at like 11 a.m. or 11 p.m. till 2 in the morning. We're doing stories about it, and they have probably 1,000 reviews already at that, like on every platform against them. Just 1 star, blah, 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 blah. And that is 1,000 like in a 3-hour window. And you're like, whoa.
And some of it was
I can't remember.
some of the stuff they did was pretty egregious. Like not only was it like mistreatment, it was like harassment of certain people and just like they just all around were just a terrible fucking venue. Everybody
We've never had that before.
no ever out of 20 shows maybe roughly.
And you still don't know what it was. Like you never got to the bottom of why these guys have a bone to pick with us.
My theory is just Jersey. I don't like that place. Sorry if you're from Jersey, but you should get out.
It was a wild one. It was the exact same set, exact same, like everything we do, we modify it a small amount, but the starting's the same. We're always going to use the same jokes at the beginning when we're introducing, calling people out, and it was just like instantly like no, it was
Say like 50-60% of the show is the same. Like there's a lot of ad-libbing. We're all just bros on stage hanging out, and like we're especially toward the end. We got a structure, but we're also on stage like trying to make each other laugh, which is I think always kind of a fun vibe.
Yeah, hell yeah.
And that was just nothing was inordinately different, but
they were very different, and no matter what we did, we're just never work with a union in that side of the space ever again.
we didn't even get to do like a sound check.
Wait, that was union? It was a union?
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, those are hard to deal with, man. Every time you're just like, hey, I'm thinking about putting just like a small thing on the wall. And they're like, oh, we're going to need the small thing on the wall, guy. That's
We got 7 fucking people.
That's another $2,000. It's
literally. It's everything. You're just like, hey, I'm going to be wearing a hat. Is that a problem? And they go, oh.
well, you didn't tell us we had to hire a hat guy.
Come on, Tony, who's the hat guy? How much do we charge for that?
We gotta call Tony Two Hats.
You get this hat or this hat. Which hat do you want to wear? No, you can't wear that hat.
What is that? It's a red hat? Oh.
Dude, oh my
Tony,
God.
no, we gotta call fucking Nick. He's the red hat guy.
They didn't let us do a sound check because they said, we have our dedicated like 2-hour smoke break. If you don't get your sound check done by this time, then you don't get to do one. I'm like, okay, cool. Then afterward, we had like a medical emergency.
Yep.
There was somebody who like actually had passed out and they were trying to get EMS in there. They turned off the lights and they're like, "Oh, well, union rules. You want the lights back on? It's $2,000." It's like, are you
not a joke.
shitting me? No, that genuinely
This is
happened.
actual.
That's an expensive fucking light switch.
I've experienced this tons of times. Yeah.
That was our
Dude,
rule.
I made a TV show that was like union. That was just like the bane of my existence, just every day.
All right, well, you open the door. All right, TV show that was union.
Tell us about TV show.
Also, just the exact same thing. Well, it was when I did my show at CBC. I did like this digital series called Trontopia, which is sketches about Toronto. But it was just every same thing where you're just like, you want to change anything. Okay, I want to just, like, for example, you know, you guys are filming. You're like, you know what? Let's put our boy in for one shot. You're just like, okay, that's going to take a month of like prep. Everything is just, enormous. And then I didn't do it. So I was kind of like, we're small enough. I could probably, get away with this stuff. So I would just be like, we need an extra, like, well, let's put the camera guy there for a second. And then, you know what I mean? Then they tracked me down. They're like, you owe me $20,000.
Dude, it is wild when we had to do working with Union, and it was part of Video Game High School, and the crowd, we needed a reaction crowd shot in an office, and it was like, okay, everyone go, and they start screaming. Fred's like, no screaming, no yelling, no nothing, just because you have to pay for that. That is an
Because it's a
additional charge.
speaking
Now
line.
you're not silent on camera.
Yep. Dude, and the dumb rules
The
you have
gayest shit
to
I
play.
ever heard in my life.
It's fucking wild.
Yeah, but
You
they
deal
got
with
the
that.
theaters. The theater ones. The live theaters. They've really got on lockdown. And you're in some small place. Like I wanted to do. I think I was in Toronto. I wanted to do like a minute long intro video, and it was just like, I mean, they wanted your firstborn. It's crazy.
Jesus. I feel like Hollywood's like that Spider-Man pointing at Spider-Man meme. It's like, who's killing Hollywood? Like, you guys with your dumb rules. Like, of course, now the barrier to entry is so low to do shit on the internet now.
Yeah, and they're happening simultaneously, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of a weird position where we're like, we're going to make it harder. At the same time, people don't need us.
Yeah,
much.
We're gonna make it harder in a time where our competition is so much more prepared to overtake us for the war on attention.
I remember in the like acting unions, which I've been in, at some point.
The Film Actors Guild. Nice.
Yeah,
Yes, yeah.
It's one of the- yeah.
Film Actors Guild actor.
I was like watching. I was waiting for Connor reaction. Ha! I was like, there it is.
Very highbrow stuff, yeah, for me. And then an actor, I don't want to talk about my craft of acting, but it would be, there was a point where they were saying that if people wanted to make Instagram videos on their own channel, they can't because they're a union actor, so they have to pay the fee. And it was just like, you guys are you trying to make yourself obsolete? Because so everyone's just like, okay, well, I'm not doing social media stuff, so I guess do what you got to do. And then there's like, oh, you're kicked out, and to be like, oh no.
Oh no, I
be in
have
commercials
to make
anymore.
money on my own. Oh no.
Yeah.
It feels like the train industry as soon as commercial flights started taking off. You're like, oh, yeah, you do your silly airplane business. We'll be here forever.
Yeah,
Like,
and then it would be
right.
the equivalent of the trains being like, also there's a 3-hour process to get on the train, and then
And
we
you
need
have
a-
to pay
you need a
$14
background
trillion
check.
to
And
get
then
on the
also
train.
your permanent resident card will not be registered. She's like, I don't need you.
Fuck. So what is the locations you do perform the best, or you have to
I do the
modify?
Comedy Cellar, New York Comedy Club, The Stand. There was a club called Williamsburg Comedy Club I was doing a lot, St. Mark's in New York. But yeah, the Comedy Cellar is kind of like the main club in New York, you might say. And then The Stand in New York Comedy Club.
I've never heard of that. Is that like kind of like the
Comedy Store?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's probably the New York yeah.
Thank you for knowing exactly what I was talking about, because I could not have come up with the name on the spot.
Yeah, LA is the Comedy Store, which is kind of as like I don't know, that is a cool energy because it's got this old, like, feels like, people say it feels like it has ghosts there, but like LA has this weird kind of, vibe where it feels like someone was killed there, and I think there has been people shot there and stuff like that. So it's got kind of like a romantic vibe in a weird way.
It's kind of like old Vegas in a sense, where you're like,
Yeah.
there's all these people that have been through
Yeah.
here. Like, these are the people that perform. These are the people that like built this place
Yeah.
up. Like, you're like, oh fuck, I'm standing in the same place as these people did.
And Comedy Cellar has that vibe too, where I'm actually, honestly, since I've been there, I've even been able to be conscious of it. Whereas like a lot of times, when you kind of like look back at times, you're like, oh, that was sick, but you didn't notice it at the time. I feel like Comedy Store, as seller, I've actually been able to, as I'm there, be like, oh yeah, this is cool, and just like, walk, and I lived like super close. You'd like walk there and just every famous person's there and the shows are all good and the rooms are perfect for comedy, and just then you kind of finish your set, have a beer, watch Dave Attell, and you're just like, oh yeah, this is like, I bet you like years from now I'll be like, oh, this was sick,
Now, when you say when the room is perfect for comedy, what do you mean by that?
I'm not like the best guy in the world in knowing the exact dimensions and stuff, but there's like a science. But the simplest one is low ceilings. Sometimes you're just like, it's pretty obvious. Low ceilings, have carpets.
Yeah.
Like your chairs are better acoustics. There's certain backgrounds that look better than others. Don't have like a crazy backlight where you can't see it. But most of it's sound. Most of it is the audience is dark enough, because when the audience is bright, they don't laugh as much. Little things like that.
Because I was told like the worst thing for like a comedy show like that is to have an audience that, let's for example, you got 1,000 seats, 400 of them are filled. It's better to have like a room that seats 400 with 400 people.
Oh,
because
yeah,
like if people aren't shoulder to shoulder, they don't laugh.
They laugh more when they're because the energy, it's an energy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then when they're bright and think they're cool, the worst clubs are bright and like hip. Like people, like a guy, like you're a well-dressed dude, like a guy like you that's there with like a hot date, you know what I mean? And they're sitting there and it's like any guy that is there with like a girl and he's kind of like trying to impress her and she's hot, like no guy's gonna be like, ah!
Right.
Be like embarrassed, so at most you're gonna be like everyone's trying to be cool.
Right.
And then on top of that, it's bright, so it's not even like dark where you could lose yourself. So like hip, bright, tables instead. Yeah, that's the kind of those are the worst ones in the city, I find.
That kind of sucks because it sucks the fun out of the audience too. Like you're not allowed to laugh. Like
Yeah. What you want? Sorry to interrupt. What you want is like on the road club where this guy's been with his wife for 10 years and he doesn't give a shit what she thinks of him. You know what I mean? Yeah. If he's like, oh my God, like he could be dying laughter and she's not gonna, and she's like, oh, that was a lot. And he's like, yeah, I'm gonna go, whatever, do something. What, are you gonna leave me?
You're still fireman's carry to the Uber. Like,
yeah.
You're going home together no matter what.
Yeah.
I think through all of our years in business on the internet, we've all used Shopify. I've used it for merch and my skate shop and a couple other businesses.
I will actually agree 100% on that. Everything we do is run through Shopify.
Even bunkers run through Shopify.
Our shoes, which is a separate company, is run through Shopify, and they talk together because of Shopify.
Shopify runs the world.
Did you know Shopify will actually help you design a website also, Cody?
I know I didn't know about starting an online store when I started my career online, and Shopify just made it super, super easy for my dumb ass.
Brandon, what happens if people haven't heard about my brand? No.
That's actually easy, Eli. Shopify helps you find your customers with easy-to-use email and social media campaigns.
Step Cody, what happens if I get stuck?
Shopify is always around to share advice with their award-winning 24/7 customer service.
Step support, bro. You got my back.
And your front.
Shopify helps millions of businesses around the world, and
10% of all e-commerce in the U.S.
From household names like Mattel or Gymshark to new brands just getting started.
Unsub shoes, Unsub merch, bunker.
No, we've all been doing this for over a decade, and Shopify is the easiest e-commerce platform we've ever used.
I think every single one of us has used Shopify at one point.
I think all our businesses right now are using Shopify.
No, except mine, but that's because it's guns. Can't do that.
Just one of them can't. Turn those dreams into SFX, cha-ching, Shopify new sell sound.
And give them the best shot at success with Shopify.
Sign up for your $1 per month trial and start selling today at shopify.com/unsubpod.
Shopify.com/unsubpod.
That's super interesting in psychology because you don't have control of like, hey, we always set at the beginning of the show, it's like, hey, kill house lights and then stage lights. Here's the beats we will want house lights to be turned on and then kill them right after. You have zero control of that just on random shows day to day.
Yeah. I mean, part of the city, when you're in the city, part of it is more like, if you're like a fighter or an athlete, you kind of think a city show is a little more like the gym. You know what I mean? So it's like, I'm actually not, what you're saying is like, oh, you might not be able to like lift as much or hit your PRs or whatever. And you go, that's not, I could care less. You know what I mean?
Interesting.
So I'm really there and you're like working on, I've sat there all week or all day and being like, I have this new thing I'm trying to try and this and this. So maybe if I do that there, and you're kind of trying to get a read on that. I'm not there to for, if people kind of say this, but like if I go to the cellar and I'm like, oh, that guy killed, he had the best set. It's like, yeah, because you kind of like were, you know what I mean? Like a lot of times there's shows where that's me. Like there's a lot of times where there's shows in the city where I go on and I'm like, I go really kill and people are just like, oh, you were like the best one. I'm like, yeah, because I'm a I was gonna go and like work on all this new stuff. There's too many people here and everyone was watching and I was like, and instead of doing that, I went and killed. Like, you know what I mean? The thing just easier.
Like did your good shit.
Yeah. Or the new things I was working. Yeah, it's like, so some of it is like cowardice when you're killing. That's like a fine line.
Do you think there's like a reliable way that you can workshop new material without having to go in front of a live audience?
No.
Or you just always like, I've got to hear what they...
What? Was he going to repeat it in front of the fucking mirror, you psychopath?
Well, you know what I mean? Like there's a way where you're just like, you're like, I think this is going to be really good, but it's just one of those like until first contact with the enemy, you don't know.
Yeah, that's what I'd say. And I believe me, every person and probably me a ton, when you start, when you get busy and things are working good, like you're always like, how do I make this more efficient?
Right.
And obviously the answer is like, well, what if I could not do that part? And then, but you end up wasting more time because you kind of sit there and being like, this, I've figured it out. Like, this is going to work. And then you end up wasting like a day working on this thing that if you just went and did it, you'd be like, actually, no. You know what I mean?
Like the vibe was wrong. Like
As soon as you say it, you're kind of like, that kind of doesn't feel right. And you can get a vibe, you can weed some out where it's like, saying stuff to your friends and saying that you're like, I can weed out where I'm like, I can weed stuff out. But if I'm like, oh, I think this is good, and I say it to some people, and I'm like, and then you go on stage and you're like, it wasn't really, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'll do that a lot to like friends sometimes too. I'm just like if I'm working on a joke for a video, I'm just like, like I'll throw it at them, like, ooh, that didn't get the response I wanted. All right, let's maybe workshop that a little bit.
Yeah. Also, there's kind of a thing with maybe other format, even like making funny videos or, doing people who do funny articles or other funny things. It's like that game is a lot about having like a lot of sevens consistently. You know what I mean? Even like in TV, a lot of jokes, there's like, it's about, where stand-up's more like the threshold of this makes it into the hour is like so much higher that there's like a higher weeding out process, So if you're just making, like there's videos where it's like, okay, I put out a video and it had, 30 kind of laugh points in it. And some of those probably were B's, some of them, but like pretty consistent. Whereas stand-up, if you went and did 30 of those, you'd be like, maybe I have one thing,
Yeah.
So the threshold is just so much higher.
What was one of the jokes you did that was like, you're like, this will crush. I think this is going to be the one. And then you just watched the opposite happen.
Oh, that's funny. Just the joke, like where for a week I've just been like, well, I solved comedy. Yeah. And you go on stage, you go, it turns out I didn't solve anything. I didn't solve
This is
shit.
the platinum joke. The one everybody's been working for since the dawn of time.
This is my Elon moment. Yeah.
So you made that comment about posting consistent sevens, and that's how I built my career. I took great offense to that.
Hey, man, whether it become girls or jokes, nothing wrong with consistent sevens.
Just hitting that right in the outfield every time.
Just get on base, dog.
No home runs so far, but it's worked out just fucking fine.
Yeah, I always, even just recently, you'll have a thing where you have a small point where you go, like you have this whole bit and then just the one tiny part of it is like, you're like, I guess that's something, but this 9-minute thing that I thought was, and I was just like, family is really important for poor people. And then you go, that's it. And then this whole other thing, I go, this one little line at the beginning was getting a laugh every time. And then I was just like, and then this whole, so I guess like maybe when I have a joke about family, I can get that back in there. But sometimes there has been times where I've had things personally where I'm like, oh, this is, I know it's good because I know I'm like, I know I'm like on to something here, but it took me 9 years to, because every time I've kind of finished a special or I'm like, you know what, let me look at all my old notes and maybe there's something there. Every time I'm like, why did I ever, this is gold. And then you bring it out, try it for a week, force it. And I go, yeah, back in this closet with that. You go, no.
Why? This is, oh my,
Yeah.
you're disgusting.
I mean, it really is like a girl where it's like, you get back with the hot girl and you're like, why did I ever stop talking? Dude, this girl rule. And then like week 3, you're like, that's why, right? Crazy. Yeah, she just crashed my house. That's, she's crying again. That's what the reason.
Fuck, I was stupid.
Yeah, I definitely feel like jokes have. You probably had things like that, but yeah, jokes can kind of be like that, where you're just like, "Whoa, this is perfect," and then you're like, "No, it wasn't quite perfect. That's why," and you could never solve that last little part of it.
Do you have one where it like sticks out in your mind where you're like, this joke is the one, it will solve comedy, and I'm going to present it, and
The platinum joke.
Oh.
Well, I'll tell you, I'll tell you that this is me teaching you about colonization, but
Thank you.
Because I'm.
Go on.
I
love your
For the
skin.
record, I do not think this is going to be solving comedy. That's not my current opinion on what I'm about to say.
No, on record, Ryan Long says this is the best joke ever written.
Yeah.
He wrote it personally. The funniest joke, thank you, sir, ever written.
He compared it to colonization. So
I have achieved comedy.
Now that I'm done with comedy, I gotta do something else.
This is his retirement joke.
Next up is cancer.
Obviously, yes. Probably easier, actually. That's why I said the.
You sneaking Zinskis down there?
No, but I can get you one if you want.
Oh, you got one? May I?
Yeah, buddy.
Oh, thank you. As the guest on the podcast, thank you so much, sir. There's citrus too. I love you, sir.
Yeah, good flavors.
the 60s?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
You ever done nines? Or
No, I'm not. I haven't done.
They're
those
illegal in
years.
Canada.
Well, when I was in, I did like a Europe tour, and they had like 16s and these crazy numbers. And it's funny because you first do it, and you're just like, you're like, this is insane. Why is anyone? And then by the fourth one, you're just like popping. It's like your body adapts quick.
Dude, you start losing feeling in these three fingers. But
Yeah.
I've seen the ones that like from Europe where they have like the 50 milligram like Zins and shit.
50?
Oh yeah,
man,
it's insane. Like to me, I'm like I would be immediately physically ill within like 3 minutes.
Yeah.
There's no way.
Ryan was about to tell the funniest joke ever told.
That's right.
Yeah,
No.
ever of all time.
No, I
is what
wasn't.
you said?
I pivoted out of telling the joke, and in an interesting way, I said I'm going to do something else. But
Chance, pull up funniest joke ever. Alarm's going off. Really set the tone for
I
this
said I was
joke.
going to teach you about colonization. Do you guys know about colonization? Do I have to teach you? So
What happened?
because I'm Irish, which is the original colony and the original
Yeah,
terrorists, which you probably know about. But for your audience who doesn't know about colonization, back in the day, England used to go to all these other countries and improve them, and because they're ask for a few spices, nothing crazy. You know what I'm saying?
And that is factually
asking
correct.
for all the spices and using none of them.
It'd be like your buddy coming to your house and clean the place, puts in a soda stream when he leaves. He's like, mind if I take some oregano? And you're like, what the fuck? But then, they used to try to help. They'd call these other countries, be like, India, we have toilets now. They'd be like, we already told you we're good. Click. And they'd be like, Australia, you guys need criminals. They'd be like, we don't need any. Like, they're on their way. And then England went to.
Trust me, they had plenty.
They had a few, but they needed more. And then England went to the Middle East and gave them the best present you could ever ask for, which is 85,000 Jews. And without so much as a thank you, by the way, I wish I had 85,000 Jews. Jamaica was jealous. They're like, we want Jews. They're like, you already have black people. Don't get greedy. And they said, once they become reggae stars, we're still going to need a few Jews to manage them. And they said the Jews can't help because they're busy sending over the black people. Now, that is 20% historically accurate.
I'm going to tell my kids that was the trade triangle.
I hate that. That is the viral clip that just happened. I will let you know that is the viral clip right there.
Hey, editor, when you clip that up into a short, please leave my face out of it. Thank
For
you.
the record, I'm
Let
just telling you
Brandon's
guys,
soul float away.
is that not correct? Like right now, that's why America has to be the colonizer, and that's why America's running out of money. They're gonna have to start an OnlyFans. Because if you think about it,
You telling me
Britain-
we're carrying the baton for Britain?
Why do you think Britain has a mosque on every corner and putting people in jail for speech? Because they're trying to disguise themselves as Muslim in hopes that someone colonizes them for a change. Because they're always the colonizer, never the colonized.
Well, once we get Greenland, who knows?
That's what I said. I said Trump's been spinning a wheel just to figure out which dictator he's going to remove. He's like, Greenland. He's like, it's yellow. He's like, Kim Jong-un's going to get it.
He just has color palettes for
Yeah, brown. He goes, London. So there.
You got your viral clip, dog.
That was good.
Congratulations. That's a good. That'll kill here in San Antonio.
Made it a third of the way through that White Claw, and he finally opened up.
You bullied me into doing a joke.
Brandon. Brandon! Cody, call him the one word.
Win AK-50.
I sense the disturbance in the force. What's up?
How do you like those Turtle Beach noise canceling headphones? They're the Stealth 700.
They're fantastic. The noise canceling is so good, all I hear is tinnitus.
Ah, God, these are comfortable.
They're really comfy.
Yeah, those are dope.
Turtle Beach, make some Range Ear Pro.
You want genuine reaction? Cody, actually, like, put those on.
Oh.
Nice. Those are legit comfortable. Turtle Beach, what you doing over there, girl? You making some hot-ass stuff.
I like your squishies. 3D spatial audio to improve your gaming. That would work really good in Tarkov. Hear people's footsteps.
And in PUBG.
I can't wait to use a Turtle Beach headset to listen for footsteps in Tarkov, running the new AK-50 while I get still killed from a woodline I can't see.
What?
Eli, there's a global cabal that's working behind the scenes to control all media, banking, politics. And that's why we should have never gone off the gold standard.
Hey, hold on. 80-hour battery life.
80-hour battery life. Holy shit, there's a lot of switches. Can't stress enough how comfortable these are. And if you've been in a long gaming session, which I'm sure all of us have, unfortunately.
I wear adult diapers when I play World of Warcraft.
You should be euthanized.
Ha!
Also, controls. Headphones, great. This, game hard.
Head to Turtle Beach and use code UNSUB for 10% off your entire order.
That's 10% off your entire order at turtlebeach.com with using code UNSUB.
After your purchase, they'll ask you where you heard about them. Please support Unsub and tell them where you got them.
Tell them Unsub sends their regards.
See, that's what's crazy is like a joke like that will work in some areas and then it's not.
No, I do almost. I'm in New York, dude. So to be honest, it's for me. It's because I know the question you were asking. For me, it's sort of the opposite, where I'm like like I do better in. I'm like a city urban guy, you know what I mean? I'm from Toronto, then New York. Like all my jokes are made there. Where sometimes in places like this, I feel a little more. I gotta change it a little.
No shit.
Yeah, it's
In
the opposite.
what way? In what way do you change it, I guess?
Well, a lot of times the vibe of like, okay, so in New York, people have like things that they think that they agree with. Oh, I mean, it can go both ways, but like, let's say you were talking about gay people to people that are New Yorkers. That is different than talking about that to someone who maybe isn't even like about it.
Gotcha. They're not even open up to the jokes for it, or even that community.
They don't even know what you're talking about.
Yeah, they're like,
dude. Sometimes I remember like in Toronto, I would talk about like Indian people because like, all like my boys are Indian, and it was very like part of the culture.
You got Indian friends.
Yeah, I have Indian friends, and then you'd kind of. I remember even in like being in, you'd come to some places here, you'd be like Indian dudes are like this, and they're just like, I guess, like I'll take your word for it.
Yeah.
Like it's not that they're
If they've never been to the Costco.
Yeah, they're not even like offended or not offended. They just don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Interesting.
It's like, like you see all these New York comics come out here and talk about subways, and everyone's like, I don't know, is that what happens on there? I don't take the subway.
It's the relatability to the joke.
Yeah. So sometimes the pushback that you're like, the joke is built on like a certain amount of pushback that no longer exists. Then you're like, well, then what are we doing here?
That, and I wonder, like, do you have to like kind of adjust? Because I guess it's easier to be edgy in like LA and New York.
Yeah, it's a different it's a different thing that's edgy.
Because like a certain element of comedy is like, okay, you're doing the thing you're not supposed to do. Like you're saying the thing you're not supposed to say, and that's why. But it's relatable, so that you know.
Part is, yeah.
I guess there's an element of comedy in that. Like, do you find it harder when you go to places that aren't so much in those spheres?
Well, you just go the other way. They still have their things.
Oh, that's true. I
Depends
guess that is true.
There's kind of different. Like if you think of, there's more like Texas is a little more serious, right? So Texas people,
Depends on where you go.
Well, I know what you mean, but I was kind of thinking like, if you think of like Florida trash,
yeah.
I was kind of, in my mind, I was thinking like, if you talk about like a Texas guy, about like why he has guns, it's like, well, it's the Second Amendment, and there's kind of like a philosophy. If you talk to Florida, it's like, why do you have guns? Like, so someone doesn't steal my pills. You know what I mean? It's like
in case I get serious about that ex-wife.
Yeah,
it's like
just getting from like a hooker at NASCAR, like Florida trash is like a different type of. So there's
a reason the Florida man vibe exists.
Yeah. So Texas people are serious in the way that sometimes New York people are serious, but just about different topics.
Interesting.
So you'd kind of go the other way. Like maybe talking shit about God to certain people is obviously like in New York that would be like the least edgy thing you could ever do.
Right? They're like, yeah, that's what we all believe. Here it's just like, oh well,
Yeah. Like you flip it. It's like it's edgy to talk about probably Allah in New York, and here you could probably say whatever about Allah, but like if you go real hard on Jesus, people might be like, "Shut up."
Yeah. But well, and then there's the balance of like, okay, how do you turn that into comedy? Because there's like, okay, there's offending people, and then there's offending people in a funny way, you know? Because I mean, I feel like, I'm
not really
just
to
for
be
the
honest,
record, I'm
that,
explaining
offensive
this
as much as people think I am.
for the audience sake, not your sake. I'm not trying to teach you how to do comedy because God knows you know how to do it, but.
No, but I'm like no, you actually are right. Like there is a difference between like the purpose of this was to like offend people, and then the other part of it is like the purpose for this was to get someone to be like, that actually is good, you know.
I just had that moment of self-awareness. I'm like, I don't want to come off like I'm mansplaining to the comedian.
Let me tell the comedian how to do comedy.
Comedy is such a stupid thing to be an expert on because it is obviously, but it's. If you're like an engineer and you're an expert, we don't all do a bit of engineering. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
With comedy, you're like, I'm an expert at comedy. Everyone's been joking around with their friends their whole life. So everyone also does this.
Well, I made a comment this morning to Brandon, not to fucking suck your dick, but I was like, no, he's got that natural inclination because there was a joke he made.
Thank you.
Where you were talking about, you were like, I've been getting pushed this targeted ad for an entirely female-based, not to fuck up your own joke, but an entirely female-based moving company, and then just very subtly go, so like a really moving company. I was like, it's just you slid that right in, and it's like, oh, that's perfect.
My algorithm right now, I've been saying this, but it's funny because I have like just all disability shit. Like there's a guy who's got no arms, no legs, he rolls around because they send you one, and then obviously you look
curious,
at it, yeah, and then the algorithm's like, yo, that's your shit.
I love like my algorithm's like all right now sea lions, and yours is like paraplegics. Just
it's my
things
TikTok.
that bring me joy.
That's what happens. There's this one woman, she's got this no skin condition. She's always posting about like
a no skin.
I've been kind of doing a joke about her because she posted, she was like, I went on this blind date with a guy and he was so surprised by my appearance, and I was like, yeah, I don't know if she'd be blind dating without skin. Like bare minimum on a blind date, I'm expecting skin. Like I don't think that's
things I want my partner to bring to the table. Skin.
Pretty reasonable expectation.
Bare minimum.
You go, that's kind of on you.
That's fucked.
Yeah, it's like if
I hate that skit so much. It goes to them talking. That hard cut back. It's just.
I guess the real piece of shit.
You got a little something on. Never mind.
No, all right. Yeah, the real piece of shit's your buddy who set you up on that blind date. You come back, you're like, how'd it go? You're like, didn't have skin. Thought you might have mentioned that in the rider.
Set me up with the fucking California raisin.
Yeah. The
ghoul
Zoidberg.
Fallout.
Zoidberg.
Lord Zod from Power Rangers.
But it is funny, yeah, when you just getting like. Actually, you ever getting like an algorithm for like Black Twitter or like some like Muslim algorithm and you're just like realize like I don't know any of this shit.
Do you just go down those rabbit holes as soon as you get exposed to it? You're just like, okay, I need to know more.
I'm gonna like this one because it's gonna feed.
If you catch me on the right time, I'm feeling sassy.
Mine's Spanish because
Really?
I speak Spanish. I speak enough Spanish that I can read it and I can speak it conversationally. But like on Reels, it's the same thing where I'll open up like a Spanish meme. And it takes me longer to understand Spanish than it does English, obviously. So I'll open up an English or a meme in English, and it's like boom flick, and then I open up one in Spanish, and it takes me twice as long to comprehend.
And they're
it.
like, he
loves this. And then I will just have the most Mexican feed on Instagram for a week and a half.
Well, that's the problem. Sometimes I'll fall asleep while like doom scrolling or whatever. Like I'll wake up in the middle of the night, check my notifications or whatever. One thing leads to another. I'll open up my fucking feed and then I'll fall asleep on it. So like the algorithm says like my watch time is 100% dedicated to whatever the fuck that was. And I'm like, oh great. Well, I know what my next 3 days looks like.
God, I love the algorithm. It learns you.
You ever reset it? It takes balls.
How do you reset it?
I don't know either. Haven't looked, but my buddy did.
Start a new account.
And he's been pushing it. Yeah, he's like, you can reset your algorithms.
Well, dude,
it goes stock settings.
It's terrifying because what happens, it will start presenting you your old stuff you used to watch when I started Say Hi. That's a brand new channel. Everything. So I started watching content on that. Bro, did that not just start feeding videos I've already watched before? It's like, oh, I think you'd like this. I'm like, oh.
And knew you pretty quick?
Yeah. Like in a couple of days, it was like, oh, you'd probably like this. I'm like, I've watched that video before. How did you know that?
There's also a difference too between like if you like go to your buddy's YouTube account. Like you're just like at your buddy's house and you pull up the smart TV. It's like, oh, okay, well this looks like fairly similar to my feed, but like with a couple of my buddy's eclectic interests. Yeah. When you go to like an Airbnb where somebody's still logged in and you just like open that up and you're like, this is somebody who has no access to my circles. We have nothing in common.
Yeah, we're living in different worlds.
You look through their feed, it's like, oh my God, I'm just suddenly getting blasted by Mr. Beast and all this. Like, you're like, oh God, what's going on here?
Yeah, you're like someone. I guess I knew someone was watching him, but I've never seen a Mr. Beast video on my feed.
It's just here we are,
different worlds.
I was talking about this on stage before, but they're kind of setting up dudes because they only send you. If you're a dude, guaranteed the first thing they try is like hot chicks, right?
Oh yeah,
and then no matter what, you have to go boom, 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 or the algorithm's just like feeding you hot chicks. And then if your chick looks at your things, like it's all hot chicks, and you're just like, I'm being set up. You know, like
Sav knows mine looks. I look just autistic and retarded. It's like cars, space, cars,
nice, dude.
Space.
You got
cameras, space.
Well, because they won't recommend gun stuff anymore. So like that's what my feed naturally it used to be.
Holy shit!
They don't recommend gun stuff.
No, it's been years and years.
On YouTube?
Holy shit! I didn't even think about that. Yeah, even IG or anything will not recommend a single fucking firearm, even though. That's our space.
Yeah, so now it's
your
just
space, especially
it's tits and cars. But like in reality, like 95% of what I actually consume is firearm stuff and like my actual feed.
That's interesting. I never get it. Yeah, I definitely never get any firearm stuff. But
you get like sea lions and dogs, and all I consume is tits.
I'll spend a little bit more time here in Texas. We'll show you around.
Yeah, I mean, I fired a gun once in my life, and I was just Yeah, and I was kind of
like both times you said that you've done the gun mission.
Yeah,
I've shot a gun
like
twice in my life, and then you did it again when you brought that.
Wait, in what context?
I went to the gun range with a guy.
Where at?
In Toronto. And honestly, I was just kind of bored.
They had musk.
What is a Toronto gun range? An evidence locker?
How was that? Gunpowder.
We busted out the daisies. It was pretty crazy.
Took 3 minutes to load it.
You'll never believe it. My buddy shot his eye out.
There's a flag that says bang, and then some sparkles come out.
God, we would have took you shooting if we would have ever known. We'd be like, here, come.
Dude, we'll take you out with some of my toys.
Yeah, that'd be cool with you guys. Yeah, but this one, when I went, he did have a lot of guns, and I remember by gun 4, and I was like, okay, that was cool, and he was like, yeah, there's 12 more guns, and I was like, all right.
You said a lot of guns or shotguns. Cute.
Yeah. He had a break barrel 12 gauge. How'd he do?
Do you think it's a city thing a little bit? Because I don't know if this is funny, but like the idea of, and I agree with like, you don't want the government to tread on you, but like when you're in the city and everyone's there and there's a guy like yelling and screaming on crack in the subway, you're like, the government could tread on that guy a little.
Yes. I wish the government would do 60 cc's of tread on that guy at the moment.
We get a bit of treading on that guy at least.
Just a needle that says tread.
Are you from Toronto?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like right outside.
So you've only ever lived in big cities?
Yeah. And I've never.
We started the conversation talking about Toronto like it's like a little podunk town in Canada. It's a huge city.
I think it's 3rd or 4th biggest metropolitan in North America.
Because in my understanding of Canada, like most of the population is like down toward the United States-Canada border, and it's like mostly in like a pocket of a handful of cities.
Yeah, kind of. It's Southern Ontario is like the big spot for sure.
It's like population of Canada is what, like 40?
Yeah.
Dang. Toronto is south of Detroit, if I'm not mistaken.
Is it really?
Yeah. Latitude-wise?
Yeah, kind of.
I guess that does track.
Huh. Don't put me on the spot with geography.
You go up and over.
Trying to make me look stupid.
Well, because you were talking about rent in New York.
Detroit.
Yeah, I've seen like rent prices in Toronto are fucked too.
Yeah, Toronto's high. Vancouver's the highest. Like that's kind of like how Silicon Valley is still a little higher.
California of Canada.
But I said, I've said half the country wants to get rid of illegal immigrants and half the country wants to get rid of guns, and there's way too many of either to make a dent. And they have some similarities. When you see either on the subway, you say, in your house. And I keep one of each in my trunk for protection.
How often do you go back to the homeland?
A couple times a year.
Yeah.
You think everything? I mean, you guys are busy dudes too. It seems like you have like multiple channels. You're touring. Like everything that I say I'm gonna do, I do less of. Like I have so many things. I'm like, I'm gonna go to Austin more. I'm gonna go to LA more. And then, I'm gonna my list of things that I'm going to do is ever increasing, and none of I do.
That was my I think my New Year's resolution. Like 2 years ago was, oh man, I really enjoyed that elk hunt me and Cody did. And like, I'm going to do more hunting this year because I really love it.
Yeah.
That year I did zero hunting. It's like, well, all right, fuck me, I guess.
Let me find 2 whole days next to each other where I don't have shit going on.
Me and my boys went to Puerto Rico, just like me and like some of my like close friends from Toronto. And that was like the first time in a little bit I've done just like a random, went for 5 days and you're just like, I left being like, we have to do this every weekend. And you're just like, maybe 2029.
Well, even Cody's bachelor party was so nice. It was so relaxing. And then within 2 days,
everybody left early.
It was like,
I gotta get home and get shit done.
I'm so behind right now off of this 2 days of being off. Like, fuck.
So the first time I slept, I fell asleep in a fucking hammock. That was the most peaceful I've ever been in my entire life.
But you got like 5 people who like are constantly like in this lifestyle. We're like, go. And then we had 3 days of off. We're just doing nothing, which was kind of weird. Like no expectation of content, no expectation of any. I don't think we filmed a single fucking thing.
No. Nobody was on their phone.
Which is probably good because there's nothing worse than when you're just like, all right, I'm gonna chill, and then 4 guys are like making videos.
Oh, I would have been pissed.
We can't do one day.
Yeah.
My buddy went to I think it was the Yankees game, and he was just like, there's 5. I went with 5 guys, and he was like, 3 of the guys were filming like Instagram videos the whole time and you're just like, what are we doing?
Fuck off, yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Influencers.
Yeah, but I mean, it is out of control. But yeah, so I mean, that's as you get older, period, you got to really, I think that's why things like even, I mean, I know that you've made like a career out of it, which makes it different, but like all the stuff you're doing, like it kind of is a reason to hang out with people. So you kind of systemize. I mean, comedy is a bit like that too. I tour with my boys and you're at the club with your boys. So you almost like need your life to already include, your social stuff, or it's hard to make it work.
Right.
Probably. I don't know. Maybe there's a better way that I don't know about.
I mean, it makes sense. Like, especially when you have people with like similar interests, similar careers, whatever. Like, you naturally gravitate toward each other.
Yeah, because otherwise, you're just like, I never, like everything is just on a treadmill.
Yeah.
Oh, and you're not learning from that at all. You're like,
yeah.
Now, with it, do you learn more from when you bomb or when you do a good show?
Probably when if you're working on a joke, and it does good. But I don't know if learning is the right word, but yeah, probably learning more from your bomb. But it would be like anything. I would say there's depreciating returns. You know what I mean? Like you wouldn't be just like, well, I've just been bombing for 10 weeks straight. I'm really learning.
Every learning so fucking hard. God, nobody laughed last night.
I don't think you learned if it's going on for 2 weeks from the bad setup.
Been just nonstop learning for 15 years.
I will make them like this shit
sucks.
You're gonna look like fucking Yakub with the giant. I've learned so much.
He's the worst comic ever.
Yeah, your buddy has a good set, taking a night off, I assume.
What do you consider like the life cycle for a joke? Like how long will you run
these
like a
days?
good one?
It's for people that are kind of like in the game where you're touring and then you want to come back to that place with a new hour. It's like it's different now than it was 10 years ago. It really is like you put together this hour, you kind of over the course of a year and a half to 2 years, probably tops, and then you record it and then you start again. Which is that's the part that's torture. Like when you're talking about what sucks is going and doing an hour where you're like, I have maybe like 8 minutes. you know, and you're just like walking the plank when you don't have to. It's probably, I guess it would be like a fighter fighting with like his arms tied behind his back or something. You're just like, I could kill this guy. It's kind of that's the part that cycle moves like fast right now because that's the expectation, but you're like, you want to put out specials, and then you want to go back to a place with like a new act where they, didn't just kind of see you do that already. So that cycle, like that's the part that stinks. But yeah, so the life cycle, depending on where it was in that, maximum 2 years.
Because I guess that's the interesting part about comedy now, like outside looking in, is that so many people record like, their best. Everybody wants to do like a good reel or a good short or something like that. And you take some of your best material because you want to put your best foot forward, but you're also robbing yourself of your best jokes for a live show. So like, where do you find that balance?
Well, sometimes you can put it out like at the beginning and then it kind of keeps getting better and then you're almost putting it out at the end too. I have noticed that people care less than you think, where I'll kind of, you toil over like, should I,
It's just about reusing
this
content.
Like
gem that I
they
have
want to hear
that-
the greatest hits type shit.
Yeah, you do think a little bit more than other people do, where it's like, well, if I burn this, then it's done, and it's obviously the best joke in the world. So how could I do? And then you kind of put it out, and then I put it on my special, and like no one says anything.
Yeah. I mean, look at the donkey story.
Oh yeah, that we've repeated that one for every. I mean, since the second tour started, we've done that same joke. The only time we actually were feel free, and it's an actual good question.
You don't want to tell it a third time?
No,
It's not his story to tell.
It's
we
not
can
mine.
explain it a little bit. Like our buddy Zach, like veteran with the signs, telling a story essentially about. Forgive me, you two audience.
Yeah,
Basically
sorry for making them do that.
A deployment to Afghanistan where him and his buddies are watching a bunch of potential insurgents sodomize a donkey. And we acted out live on stage, which is like, it's a
Do you
real
guys
fun
go
bit.
in the 2-man donkey costume?
No, thank God we don't. But poor
close-
Richard, angry
close
Nazi
Rich.
is the donkey every time. So we have that story.
It's
Nailed
pretty
it.
aggressive. It's
Yeah,
pretty aggressive,
yeah,
but
yeah.
it's still funny.
Yeah.
You know,
People love it. But when we did the Iowa show, we did a show back to back.
And some of the people stayed for both.
40%. So we changed in literally everything. We were also shit wrecked. It was 100%. We were drunk as shit at that point. So the second show changed completely. And you get to see that interaction. Oh man, I thought you would do the same set over. This is a completely new set. And then it's like, oh no.
Oh, and they would have
fuck
been
it.
fine with it, you think?
We don't know. They love
I mean,
the
that
second
would be-
set. They love the
You'd be in your own head, dude. I'll say I try to.
Well, no, I told the guys out there it was like first or second show because we were so shit wrecked, and I was like, second show killed more, I believe, and then we started asking the audience, like, second show was fucking.
we just took your word for it.
Yeah, dude, the second show, like everyone fucking like even Jake and everyone that was there on our side, they're like, holy shit, you guys killed that second set, and it was drunk, not giving a fuck. Oh, we got to put on something new for the audience. Oh, it worked. Have you done that? In comedy where you have to do a back-to-back show.
Okay.
I mean, in the city, I'll be like talking to the if I do a club and they're like, oh yeah, we're gonna have the same audience stay. I'm just like, can you not?
That's why, like, that'd be
tell them to
fucking
beat
terrible.
it. Like, what are we doing here?
How does that go for you?
I wouldn't do it. I would if I
You're like, no, fuck off.
no, I mean, if I was in the city and I'm like, hey, I've been writing all day. I have this like new thing I'm like working on. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to do these 2 shows at this place. And they're like, oh, most of the audience is staying. And I'd be just like, okay, I'm leaving to go somewhere else. Cause I'm like, well, there's no point.
Okay.
At my audience, like if I'm doing my hour, like, no, I don't have a backup hour that I'm doing right now.
Which is
gonna ask
crazy.
that
Like
question.
doing a hour.
Quick backup hour.
That was my question. So you're obviously your special's an hour. Do you do an hour every time, or is it like
Yeah, something
you do
like that. Yeah.
Oh, every time? You're never like, oh, let me pop up for 10 minutes. Type
Oh, in
thing?
the city. Yeah. City's 10.
When you say
10, 15.
the city, do you mean New York City?
Any city. Like any city that has like a
We're not headlining.
a non-headliner clubs. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
For example, tonight in San Antonio, you're going to do an hour?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Or more. Like, hour.
No
plus,
shit.
Yeah.
Okay, God. Yeah, see, that's so intimidating to me. Like to stand up in front of an audience, just a sea of people, and just, if you bomb 15 minutes in.
Okay, but know how
it's
you
like,
said you have that like one story that you say works every time, right?
Sure.
Okay, now imagine you had 85 of those. Like,
Well,
would
there
it
you
now
go.
be intimidating? Like, or now you'd be like, well, no, I have this 85 things that I say that like work.
At least in my mind, and I know that's something that, like you said, that there's a big, the learning curve's fucking crazy. Once you get good at it, you're good at it. But like, at least to me, because I don't have people to bounce stuff off of,
Oh,
that
yeah.
would be very intimidating to me.
Yeah, one of the hardest things right now, probably period, is people that are trying to put together like a live performance while they're like popular and running their business, because it's like it almost requires 7 years or 5 to 7 years of like, this is all that I didn't thought about, you know. But that's to be like a stand-up, to be competent where you're like doing your live performance with your boys and it's funny and we add stuff, like, you know, that's maybe not, that's not that, you know.
To be fair, I feel
keep
like
getting better at that.
that's probably proficiency in anything though. You know, you've got to just dedicate so much time to it, because especially like how many people start out in comedy versus how many people succeed in comedy.
Okay, but the reason I like, I'm not even trying to put comedy higher, but I describe it as, if you were a really, really good football player runner, right? And you started playing basketball and you're like, you know, 15 years old, you start, probably in 2 years, you're gonna be pretty good. Like if you're the best football player, right? You go, stand-up's more like you started playing hockey. you're like, we can't skate, you know? So if you're like the best football player, you were a track star and you start playing basketball, it's pretty likely in a couple of years, you're also going to be really good at basketball.
So that's why so many
if you start
Canadians...
playing hockey, you're not going to be that good in 2 years.
Yeah.
That's why so many Canadians are comedians.
Yeah. There's a lot of Canadian comedians. Yeah. The reason, the hockey analogies.
Yeah, see, now that makes sense. All right, I get it.
Basically, all you gotta know is that mic is like a puck, you know, and you're just trying to put it in the other end of the night and just get fucking 2 points up on the scoreboard and have a good time out there, boys.
Yeah, well, no need to get gay about it, but
You don't need to get all hockey about it. Have you seen the new hockey show, Heated Rivalry? You guys haven't seen that?
no.
It's the #1 show right now.
You're talking two
Canada.
Mexicans and a
It's
white
not
guy.
hitting your algorithm?
The only Canadian show I'm aware of is Kenny versus Spenny.
Those guys are good. I'm friends with Kenny Otts, yeah.
No shit.
Toronto guy, yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Neither of them knows
Legendary
what the fuck
show.
I'm talking about. Great
but-
Canadian show.
Well, hockey's getting sort of popular in America, but this isn't a show that's popular in America, but it's funny because it's a hockey show and it's essentially the two stars of each team are in like a gay relationship. And it's popular not with hockey fans.
I can't imagine why.
It's literally like Sidney Crosby and Ovechkin are like fucking after the game. It's like it's a hilarious show.
Great Canada show.
Yeah.
Making it the second gayest show next to actual hockey.
But yeah, it's like kind of a hit and it's sort of, you know, I guess girls like it or something.
It's just taking off right now. I've
Yeah.
never heard of this show.
Oh, it's so funny. But I mean, and I'm kind of saying inside hockey stuff, but I'm not the biggest talking about hockey guy, but you guys have made me feel like I am.
If you
want-
I've never heard it brought up ever before, aside
Oh, really?
from Canadians.
All right. Fine. Fair enough. I feel like I know New York guys that are into hockey. Like the Rangers, people are always going.
Sounds like a very white
Yeah, it's
community.
cold as shit.
You're sitting next to two Mexicans.
What are you, like baseball or something?
How about them Blue Jays then, huh?
Now, me and Eli had stickball.
Stickball.
Oh, yeah, soccer with no shoes?
Mowing yard. It's like,
Yeah, mowing yards Olympics.
yeah, dude.
Our favorite sport was paying rent.
Are you Mexican too?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you think he was?
Well, I thought, like, I guess a Spanish, some type of Spanish, so that's sort of Mexican, right?
Yeah, got some German, mostly Hispanic, and then I've got that Lebanese nose that gets me stopped at airports.
A little Middle Eastern,
Yeah.
in the midsection of the face.
The midsection of the face. It's like, excuse me, sir. You look randomly selected. It's like,
It's my professional racism. One of the first times I met Brandon, I go, you got a little Lebanese nose. You're part Lebanese.
You nailed it?
Yeah.
He did immediately.
Oh, I'm very good at being racist.
I was like, who told you? Like, that's
Like, no, I saw it in your bone structure.
Interesting.
now it's just broken.
Yeah,
Thanks, Eli.
So you got everything: Lebanese, Mexican, and what'd you say, German?
Yeah, German. My great grandmother was actually a World War II civilian in Germany. So she grew up in Mannheim. She was actually a former podcast guest.
Is that what she told you? Civilian?
Yeah, civilian.
She was there at the parades. Brandon's like,
the song. Tell the story about the song.
God. Okay, so I love my Oma to death. She's 92 years old now. She genuinely grew up in a German city like during World War II, and that's amazing stories. Like just an amazing woman, just telling like that entire time period in history. But I fucked with her one time, and I feel kind of bad about this. I started playing. I took her on like an 8-hour road trip down to Orlando, Florida. So meeting up with some more family members of mine. So I grabbed her. We drove down. We're like 4 or 5 hours into the road trip. It's just me and her. And then I played that. It's like a German marching song from World War II. It's called Erica.
Yeah.
You know, everybody knows it as like it's like the German song from World War II. Just to see, because I've phones on the aux cord. I'm like, I'm curious to see how you respond to this. She started singing the words in fluent German.
Oh yeah.
And then she told me a story I had never heard. And I'm like so glad I did it because I was just fucking with her a little bit. I'm like, curious. She started singing along. She said, I used to sing this song when I was a kid because her name is Erica.
Yeah.
And she said that she's like, I would watch the GIs. It's just the word that she knew is just, soldiers, whatever, marching down the street. Like I would watch the GIs. They'd march by singing the song. And every time they said Erica, I would say, that's me. She's like 9 years old.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, just a street full of, Nazi, World War II German soldiers walking by.
Wild.
And it's just crazy to hear the experience of somebody like growing up in that time period. And just, I mean, God, the thing she had to go through was crazy.
And see.
I bet, yeah. My actual great-grandfather fought in World War I for Canada.
No shit. Oh, dude, the World War I
Canadians to the other side.
The World War I Canadians went crazy.
The Canadians in World War I like were the reason some of the rules of warfare were written.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, you guys were rough.
You guys were gnarly.
I don't know this.
I didn't know that.
Wait, what?
What was he up to over there?
Oh, they were cleaning up trenches.
Were they using all the fun gases?
So the Germans, the Germans were in their trenches and they were like, oh, we all have to follow the rules of war. And the Canadians showed up and they were like, what are rules of war?
Because at this point, it was probably a bunch of like trash Irish people too.
Yeah, just showed up. Welcome to Canada. What was the, I know there's a story about the grenades.
Yeah, about like how they would toss, and this I don't know if this is real or not.
mean,
But they were tossing
about
over
the food cans.
They were tossing over cans of food in the enemy trenches, and so they'd all like bunch up because they're all f***ing starving.
Yeah.
So they just okay, cool. Like
the
cans
Canadians from their trenches were chucking over cans of food over to the German lines over and over and over again. So the Germans would all bunch up because they're starving.
Pavlov's dog.
Yeah. And then day 6, they chuck over a can of food with a fucking grenade, and all the
and
Germans
a bunch
team
of
up.
hand grenades.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Team
Yeah,
up
that's
and
not part of the Geneva Convention, eh?
not well, it was prior to. So
Also, think you are in this time period without the age of information, and then they're trying to pitch this rules of war where people
Broken
are trying.
telephoning a rule of war.
Yeah,
to you?
and then it's like, no, dude, you have to kill them the right way. Like, you fucking with me? Right? You're fucking with me?
In the words of Patrick Swayze from the 1984 Red Dawn, Geneva, I ain't never heard of it.
It's the hardest shit to wrap your mind around, especially in that time frame. I would have done the same. It's like, we'll just fucking throw.
Yeah, you're just like, I found a good way to kill some people.
Yeah.
I don't know how to tell you this, but
tuna cans grenade.
a lot of people thought the same thing after the Geneva Convention and did that.
It
So
still's going.
yeah.
the Aussies in where'd they fight? It was a big battle in the Mediterranean. World War I, yeah. The Aussies were in.
We were just talking about it the other night.
Yeah. It wasn't Gallipoli. Somebody.
You talking about the Swiss Alps?
No, well, that's a different story. But in the Battle of Gallipoli, and comments will correct me because I'm wrong, but they were dropping cigarettes with leaflets, and they were like, surrender to the Brits. This is a battle it's not worth fighting for. You shouldn't be dying for your government, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And the Ottomans were like, oh, free cigarettes. And they did that over and over and over and over again for like 6 weeks over the course of this entire, long-term campaign. So it's like 6 weeks in, and boom, here comes the package. And everybody's like, oh, here are the fucking British propaganda cigarettes again. They had laced them with opium. So all the Ottomans smoked these cigarettes and were like, I'm really fucking sleepy. I'm just going to take a fucking nap. Went to bed, and I think it was either the Brits or the Aussies just like rolled over the front lines, and everybody was asleep, and they captured like 60,000 fucking soldiers.
Plot twist: it made them impossible to bayonet to death because they won't die. Damn it!
Yeah, that's fine, man.
It's wild. Yeah.
Dude, warfare is so wild.
I mean, you know the whole thing about the
What are
trick.
some of the war crimes you did?
He's told those stories before, allegedly.
They've all been cut from the podcast. Well, you know, like the whole like drip rifle stuff, right?
No.
I think that was also the Australians, but
That was the
sure.
Australians at Gallipoli
Was
with
that-
the piss cans.
Yeah, where they would just basically they were trying to retreat, and so they were trying to like show that they were still there on the front lines, like occasionally taking pop shots while they withdrew all of their troops. Mm-hmm. And so they had set up rifles with.
They would shoot.
Well, they had like essentially a water bottle with a can below it that they would have a steady drip stream going, and when it got heavy enough from dripping, it would pull the trigger of the rifle. So like sporadically throughout the night, they had a couple hundred rifles that were just firing off shots.
They had retreated
While
like
they're leaving.
hours
While they're
prior
pulling their
to,
guys
yeah.
out. Yeah.
Smart.
They all pissed in oil cans, yeah.
That's fucking wild. See, I don't even know that story.
Yeah,
It
this
makes
is all
sense.
stuff that Nick could tell better.
No,
But he's
I
gotta
will-
be in
I will
Iowa.
tell. Nick's in Iowa. Let me open up my notes for YouTube videos.
Tell this exact
Ideas
story.
I stole from Nick. type.
Yeah, when I grew up, I knew one guy that like joined the army in my entire life. Isn't that like crazy? The difference. Like I would imagine you guys probably knew a bunch, right?
I mean, 3 people at the podcast are
Yeah, exactly,
veterans
right?
or did something with
Like
it.
one guy that I went to high school with. That out of all of my extended network, I knew one guy that went and joined the army.
That's wild to me.
I guess it greatly depends on where you grew up. Like I grew up Fort Bragg.
Yeah.
So like everybody, like all of my friends' dads were all like, you know, Green Berets or, you know, Rangers or whatever. So
But you're also in the U.S. Like, how much do we spend on the military each year?
a good bit.
Yeah.
It's a good career path once you get
Well, some
out.
people used to say that like the one, actually one guy my brother knew, he was like, I went there, but I think a lot of times the Canadian Army would go like train the Taliban, or no, train the Afghanistan people to then just go get the
Afghanistan army.
shit kicked out of them by the Taliban.
Yeah.
They would like, spend like 3 years training them, and then they would just run out there. And
We never did that either.
Yeah. We never trained the AA or the IA.
Did you do training?
Oh no, I was never
okay.
in. I was just talking
Okay.
about the American, like what was it, ANA?
IA and then AA. So you have the IA is Iraqi army, AA is the Afghan army. And
But it's interesting. You're just like a lot of times you're just like the army, and you're supposed to train them. You're training like a guy that was, you know, was a cashier 2 years ago.
Yeah, and you're training these individuals that have. You think, okay, what is the dumbest private I have, and how hard was it to train him with weapons or
look,
anything?
Yeah.
The jumping jack footage.
That is
just
all
gonna
you
go
have
there.
to go to is okay. Now I need you guys to do this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Crazy. We're doing that, and you get to watch the struggle of their life, and
Right.
then now it's like, oh, I have to lead these individuals into combat.
Have you seen
I have
those
an
videos?
Afghan army
Yeah,
story.
and then
I
the
can't
monkey,
tell
the monkey
on the
bars,
podcast.
Dude,
It's oh the
It's like
ISIS monkey bar
yeah,
videos.
Shane Gill is talking about it. He's like, dude, they're wearing
Yeah.
flip flops. They're posting their videos of them on monkey bars. Like they're the kings of the combat. You're like, I want to fuck with them. They're terrifying.
Yeah, you're just taking like a bunch of random farmers, and you're just like, want to be a militia, and they're like, I guess we have no choice.
And you're doing the best you can with it. And then you see how much they hate each other. And you're like, oh, okay. Well, in war crimes, we weren't even going to. Okay, you guys are going to do that on your own. Got it.
Did you guys see stuff like that where you're just like, oh,
You can't do anything. A lot of that stuff is against, like, you're like, hey, we just did this ambush. We have these individuals alive, and we need you to arrest them and do whatever you're going to do. And then you see fear enter the guys we arrested's eyes because they're like, fuck, they're Sunni
The
or
Americans
Shia.
play by the rules more.
We are, yeah, exactly. It's like those guys are just going to kill us. They're not going to interrogate and they're going to let us out. All that's gone now.
I guess it's kind of like World War II Germany, where it's like, oh, well, you can surrender to the Americans or you can surrender to the Russians.
Yeah.
It's like, guess which one you want to surrender to.
And that's what was happening a lot of times. It's like, okay, cool. Hey, IPs, even the Iraqi police is like, hey, we got these guys. We round them up. Fucking take care. Do whatever you want. It's like, okay. They're excited. And then you see fear. It's like, whoa, we're not getting arrested by you guys. It's like, oh no, we don't give a fuck. Like we're letting you all internally handle this.
Family business.
Yeah. And it's just like, Mister, no, they're not good guys. Homie, you're just trying to kill us. I don't think anyone
was there
here
like
good
some
guys.
animosity on that where you're just like, no, you were just shooting at my boys. Like, fuck off. I don't care what happens to
We
you.
didn't even look at like at that time. It's just so ingrained. Like getting shot at was no big deal as long as you didn't hit one of us. It's like when you hit one of us. Again, you're in so many gunfights. Like you do not get in a gunfight. You shot me. I don't give a fuck. Like you're team B. I'm team A. Fucking team P lost. No animosity. It was nothing past that. And that's how now we're handing you to Team C. Have fun.
But
And Team C is going to probably kill you because they said they're not going to. But hey, we're just handing it off. That's literally how that is over there.
yeah, Team C signed the paperwork. They're not going to fucking murder you. So we're good.
Yeah. Or you're dropping off Team B back where, like, the most we would do is, okay, hey, we grabbed a bad guy, we interrogated, there was no proof or anything. We found wires, we found copper, we found anything that's not like actual warheads. Okay, well, you just drop them back off, and you just drive them, you escort them, and then you're really kind when you drop them off to their neighborhood. Dude, thank you so much. Here's some water. Appreciate everything you've done. Now, what does everyone that views that interaction look like?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so you just talked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though we didn't do anything, we just handed water and said, hey, thank you for everything.
Thank you for supporting the American troops.
And now, I don't know what happened. Like, that's it. You follow the rules, though. We really good at following the rules. War's weird. It's the best way you can
Do you look back at being in the army like that was kind of fun? Or like, not, I don't know if fun's the right word, like fondly, or do you look back being like, that was fucked?
Well, dude, Dakota was the best example when he was on because he got an incident. He's like, man, individual that was like, oh, I miss the gunfights. I don't miss all that. But you probably weren't in a lot of gunfights. The second you're in a gunfight, that's an instant, oh, this is not as much fun as you would think it is. This sucks. Actually, this is what I thought. Jumping out of helicopters, jumping out of planes, getting into gunfights, war would be an amazing thing. It's an experience everyone should have. Goes out the window after like round one gets close to you. Like,
Turns out when you leave the 2-minute highlight reel, it's
Getting shot at sucks.
yeah, and especially when it's like, hey, you're getting shot at, and now you have to run towards said gunfire.
Yeah.
And you're like, why? We could stay in this vehicle. It's protecting it pretty well. It's just pinging off of it. No, you're dropping ramps and you're running towards it.
But I mean,
oh, we're going now. Okay, let's do this thing.
I guess what he's hitting at that I don't think I've ever even asked you as a friend is, what's the element of the army or being deployed that you miss the most? I know there's the camaraderie aspect of it, but
It's protecting your own. It's being there for your friends. That level of friendship, brotherhood, you will never find anywhere else because these are individuals that will lay down their life.
Related to the fact that you were potentially going to die at any moment.
Yeah, and I would put my life in front of my own for my buddy. That is very hard to have anywhere else. It's why I get along like you guys get to see like those guys, Eli Crane, or like how fast we just get along. And that's why it's that, oh, you've done that same, you've had that same experience. You put your life in, you gave two shits about yours because you cared more about the people next to you. You're left.
It's like you may not have been in my trench, but you were in a trench.
Yeah. And
like,
That's why I always find Gibbs from NCIS always has a special bond with other military men.
Yeah, thank you. That's a great.
Welcome to the comedy podcast. Unsubscribe, the comedy podcast.
It's probably the most
featuring comedian Ryan Long.
It's probably the most comedy oriented podcast we've had in a while, even though it's technically a comedy podcast.
You just hit it with those.
Ryan,
deep
tell
ones.
us a story about the time you were shot at.
mean streets of Ajax, Ontario, man.
Well, you are from Toronto.
They did have, my high school did have, there was a
no.
bunch of shootings in the front, so you have to do metal detectors, and then we had a bunch of bullet holes in our front door for a while.
You had Mexicans?
I'll tell you one.
No, the other kind.
Oh yeah, you think Mexicans walked all the way up to Toronto, Canada? They got to Los Angeles and said, "I'd probably take a nap."
East Coast.
They don't even make it up to New York usually.
So I just kept on walking past the southern border.
You think they Forrest Gumped up to New York? There was a guy at my school that held up a teacher at gunpoint, but he was like kind of a guy we were friends with, and we used to have these notes you could write to get people out of school, like a doctor's notes we stole. And my boy, that was in the band actually, he wrote this guy a note to get him out of school that he then used to hold up the teacher, and then there was the helicopter chase to this guy, and then got him in his house, and then they eventually arrested him. I got in jail forever, but
He was in your band, you said?
no, the guy who was in my band was my boy.
Oh,
he had
gave
the
him
notes.
the note.
Yeah, but the guy who did it was kind of like a buddy. Yeah, like loose, not like in the squad, but he was like
6 degrees from
We
Kevin
hung
Bacon.
out
I
with
guess.
Put it this way: we knew him enough to have. He had a nickname.
What did he tell the teacher?
No, he came to he went to some other teacher, had a note that I'm not in school, and then for some reason we had these things called portables, which are these little like outside of the school, like little fake classrooms, and then took another teacher, was like, I want
Like,
your
what was
purse
it, like
and
a
money and shit like that.
Like a double wide, or like what was it?
Like a trailer type thing?
They kind of are like trailers, but they're not on wheels, yeah. It's called a portable, but it would be, I guess, if you went to like
Like a
when you go to-
manufactured
You know when you
home.
see in Africa and they have like a little schoolhouse? We have like outside of our school, they need to expand the school. They don't have enough room, so they have like 40 of these like little mini schools.
For poverty.
Well, it's just because they need more room, you know what I mean? But that's what they make these, they add these things.
They have more room, but
I'm
they
sure
don't
you have a
the
version
budget.
of them.
Yeah, in poor neighborhoods. We'll stand this up. We'll call it this.
These things are pretty normal. I don't know. I guess you probably have a different name for them. You ever have that? Like where you have your school and then they have a bunch of like little outside.
Oh yeah, no, I spent second grade in a single wide. Yeah, no, like,
Single wide. Okay,
yeah.
that's what you call it.
you were
Little trailers
homeschooled.
outside.
What's up?
You were homeschooled.
Last 3 years.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just the last 3 years.
By your mom?
It was like my parents, but like mostly it's like they get like a curriculum. Like you'll buy a curriculum where like that's where I learned like instead of going to public school, I like did 3 years homeschooling. So I learned like speech and debate. I learned finance. I learned business and a bunch of other things instead of learning what I'd learned in public school, which is that I was gay.
You had to learn that in the real world.
Yeah, exactly, right? That was hard earned is what that was.
Say, correct me if I'm wrong, Ryan, but Toronto is like the Chicago of Canada, is it not?
Like in terms of it's pretty dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah, fairly dangerous. Yeah,
Yeah,
made it
it's
out alive,
expensive
though,
and
but it takes a
dangerous.
certain type of guy. I'm like that though.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
I'm that guy though. You know what I'm saying? Type shit. So depends who you are. Obviously, you'd have trouble there, but you know what I'm saying.
Well, it's Canada crime. It doesn't count.
Yeah, it was getting pretty
Hey, like
wild.
maybe don't do that, eh? All right.
Hey, buddy.
Yeah, there's definitely. I think after I left, like carjackings where they went real light on carjacking, so it was just like everyone was getting stolen. Kind of the craziest thing. I don't know if you ever heard like the accent that like the people have in Toronto were like, "Yo, for real though." They're this weird kind of like gangster accent, but
No, I have no idea.
Canadian accent?
Toronto accent, big on TikTok. Look at it.
It's cute as hell. It's so cute.
Yeah, I knew someone would know it. It's like kind of got popular. You know what I mean?
Could you try to do the best representation of it?
I can do it good. Yo, honestly, dog, yo, for real, yo, men's is actually crazy, eh? Yo, Crody, don't fucking talk to me like that, eh? That's what it is. That's pretty good, right?
wow.
All right. So this dude like held up kind of like an old woman and shot her for her car because she ended up, something happened, he shot her, and then he was on the run, and then he was making TikTok videos being like, yo, I didn't even want it to go down like that, eh? Yo, I'm kind of mad that I shot that old lady still, but
Are you
yo,
shitting me?
no, this is like 4 months ago.
Oh my god!
You sound like a Mexican Canadian.
It's a mix of like Jamaican and whatever else.
But wait, they banned handgun sales in Canada. How's that possible?
You're saying how do the criminals get guns if they're illegal?
That's crazy.
No one knows. No one knows.
This should
Ryan heads exposed.
this should be studied.
Excuse me, you're not even supposed to have that?
Actually, that's
Sir, that's against the law.
That's illegal, and I think you'll know that it's actually very impolite for you to have that handgun here.
Hey, I don't mean to be that guy, but if you walk away, like I won't tell the Mounties that you got that.
Yeah. We can both walk away, but yeah. So I don't know. Yeah, when they're stealing my car, you don't point out, like, buddy. I mean, you're the one that's in trouble. I mean, we both got problems because I don't know if you ever had the charter, but you're in some hot water there, pal.
Just turn it up. Oh my god!
It's the British cops like, stop, or I'll yell stop again.
Yeah, I mean, New York feels a little more dangerous than Toronto. Toronto's probably like only certain areas. New York feels a little wilder. Like if you're on subways in New York, it feels wilder than. Yeah.
Do you feel like there's just not enough like
shit.
oversight?
Like
just are people overseeing like the crime stuff, or like there's more law enforcement in Toronto, or
dude, when I'm in New York, outside of I lived in the East Village, and there would be a fight outside there every day while you're trying to sleep. And then this is like during COVID. I remember people would just start setting up shop. They had like tents and stuff like that. Then the guy who was the bodega guy would get in like a fight with them and then rip down their tents, and then they'd get in a fight. And then I remember I went on tour and came back, and there was like a big blood spot because someone got like murdered like right in the
Dear God.
Yeah, it's just like crazy shit, you know. There's always people, and then there'd be kind of like regulars that were, you know, this guy, he had like no shirt on, kind of like jacked black dude, but like not from working out, just jacked because he built like that, you know? And then had like scars all over his face and his back. And like one day you'd see him and he'd be like, oh, what's up? How you doing? And then the next day you'd see him and he'd be like, you know, fucking like, you know.
Somebody gave him $20.
Yeah.
No. Oh God, it's like the forbidden like seesaw horse or whatever outside of the fucking HEB. Yeah. It's like, oh shit, you put 25 cents in the machine. Now it's high.
I remember the first time I got there at a comedy show with this guy, Casey Herrera, who's my buddy. I've been in New York for 48 hours. And I was doing a show at this place that doesn't exist, LL Comedy Club. And then he went on stage. Someone in the audience started like yelling at him, like, you know, heckling him, being like, shut up. And he was like, he wants you to shut up. And then he gets on stage, tries to like start fight Casey Aurora. The bouncer comes in, huge dude, starts trying to grab him. And then he punches the bouncer, big brawl, the woman's involved. And then this goes on for a good like 6 minutes. Huge fight. They stop.
6 minutes is crazy.
Crazy. They stop the show, and then police come, everything. And this is like, I'm like, so this is New York comedy, huh? You know, New York comedy's crazy. But I never seen that again. But that was like the first day I was there. But you see, I don't know, just cities it just kind of becomes like normal, I guess. But you just know, like if someone's on the subway and it's like wild, you're just like, I'll just move to the next car and I'm not trying to get involved.
So that actually reminded me a little bit of like the Bill Burr getting confrontational in like Philly, I think is like the famous example.
Sure, yeah.
Is there a comedian that you kind of look up to that you're just like, oh, like I love the way they handle shit like that, especially when it comes to like hecklers?
I don't know, but like the number one heckler guys are probably the like one-liner, like guys who have the most one-liners.
Yeah.
You know, you know David Tellez, he's kind of a guy that like everyone loves in New York.
No, I don't know.
And he's pretty famous guy, but he's kind of like in New
Imagine
York.
a
I think a lot of people
World War II
talk about him as like the
stereotype
best.
of a Jew.
Yeah, comedy seller guy. He's like super funny. Yeah, you know he is. But they have like the guys who have the most like one-liners and they've been doing it for a long time. I feel like anything that happens, they have like a fucking the banger lines for it. You know, because they're just like, you know, I think it comes to the point where you've been doing it long enough. You're like, oh, I have a line for like every situation and everything.
You got a little book. You're like,
yeah,
all right,
your mind is a book. You know, you're like red shirt. I have a red shirt. You know, kind of becomes that. But I don't have a specific favorite heckler comic. I think Louis is probably still the best comedian alive, probably. In my opinion. That's what I think. Yeah.
I've liked a lot of his stuff.
There's a guy in Austin who his name's Kurt Metzger. Do you know Kurt Metzger?
Name sounds very familiar.
He's on the Jimmy Dore show, but I always thought he was one of the first people that I saw that I thought was like doing comedy like a different way that I was like, oh, that's cool. Like you can just kind of, because I remember when you first start, you're kind of, everyone's just, you know, you kind of, there's like 5 ways that people do comedy. And then I felt like sometimes you see a guy that's just like doing their own thing and it's working and you're kind of like, oh, right, you can kind of like beat comedy into you, where it's like
Right.
I'm doing the way that I talk, and I sort of you rejigged it instead of just like fitting a mold of what exists already.
That's why I like people like Norm Macdonald, for
Yeah.
example. Like he's a guy who just completely broke the mold of traditional comedy.
Yeah, totally. You know who Norm Macdonald really sucks for? All the other people there that sound like Norm Macdonald.
Everybody else trying to be Norm Macdonald.
Or that actually do sound like that. Like that area outside of Ottawa, there's like so many, there's a few comics that weren't trying to sound like him. They do sound like them. Like
That's just the way they talk.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, yeah, you go, oh, that guy's doing Norm. You're like, no, they all sound
No,
like
they
that.
just sound like that. Have you listened to his autobiography?
I know the one where it's kind of like half fake, half real, right?
Yes. Oh my
Yeah.
God, that is my
Norm's
favorite.
the best, though. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, just him telling his bullshit life story where he's making up half of it.
Yeah.
Primo.
But you're right. That is a perfect example of a guy just being like, I'm going to like invent a new way of doing something. I always thought that was really cool.
Dude, Kurt Metzger, like, you're not joking. Homeboy won an Emmy and a Peabody Award for American Stand-Up Comedian.
Oh, Kurt's like in the world that I thought
dude's
you guys
a
might know.
monster of
He's a
fucking
co-host on
comedy.
Jimmy Dore show, if you know who that is.
Can you show me a picture? Like,
Like,
yeah,
I don't know names for
He's like
shit,
my-
same.
but
It's
He's
not
like
John.
one of my good friends in comedy too. I don't know. I just like find him so funny.
because I know the name, I don't think I've ever seen him.
He's
Oh, hey, yeah, him. Yeah, he was just on Rogan like 2 days ago.
Told you.
No shit.
Yeah,
You seem tapped in.
Dude, he's crushing it though. Holy shit! To have those awards, that's wild. Damn.
Yeah, but there's a lot of like random guys. That's in the city. Like there's a lot of like random New York guys who are just like killers, and that maybe people don't know about enough, but maybe will.
Did he help you get into the comedy space? Like, hey, I want to try this, or was that?
No, I
just
kind of made
out
friends with
left
them
field?
after.
No shit.
To be honest, but like that was like I feel like when I was in Toronto, that like the popular there was kind of like a group of comedians that were kind of like the hip New York comedians at the time, but none of them were like that famous, you know.
Gotcha. And none of them, like, did you have any aspirations from big comedians at that point in your life to be like, hey, I want to join this?
No, at the time,
No
dude,
shit.
when I started stand-up comedy, I'd probably seen like Jerry Seinfeld's special.
You're like, this is comedy. Got it. I can do this.
No,
all
because
day.
it really was. I was like obsessed with like Tom Green, Andy Milonakis, Sacha Baron Cohen. I thought that Jamie Kennedy, who I've like kind of hung out with now, I thought that show was so funny. Like that kind of that stuff. I was like, I liked Sandler, like people like that, but that was my.
you are the most 40-year-old man I've ever met in my life.
I will defend, dude. I'm the most like Sandler defender to people who hate him.
I love what
he's
done.
got, he's got like the best gig ever now, where he's just like, oh, I'm gonna like pump out these like decent enough comedy movies with all of my best friends in exotic places where we get to just be in Hawaii for 3 months.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, fuck, that's the American dream.
He really did beat the system.
Yeah.
But you guys like that, and then I was like, because I was the way that I thought about it at the time, which that's why it's like felt different to me. It was like everything else I've been just like, oh, I'm gonna do this, and then you do that and do that, and then stand up. I was kind of like, I'm doing all this comedy stuff, and it felt like, oh, if you go do stand up, that felt like a more measurable way in like sports where. In acting, it was like, is the best actor getting the role? Like, who knows? You know what I mean? It's kind of, you could really replace people with other people sometimes, and it maybe wouldn't have made a difference. Whereas in like sports, you're like, no, that guy's the best. And I felt like stand-up would have been more of that, where you go, if you're like so good, you can't be ignored, in my opinion. And it was before YouTube. Now there's versions of it where if you're making the best stuff, like you'll find your audience. But that was kind of before that, right? An industry could ignore someone that's amazing. I feel like they can't really do that now. And at the time, I felt like stand-up was kind of like a way around that. But I didn't, so then when I actually started doing it, I didn't realize that you're just like, oh, this isn't like a thing you do. This is like a life you have.
I don't think. And what is that like? Because a lot of people don't realize, oh, this is a complete lifestyle. This isn't something you can do half-ass. This is, I have to go all in. And it's not 40 hours. This is 60, 80, 100 hours a week.
Yeah,
to
probably
make
like
this exist.
an athlete being like, I'm like I'm just gonna like train a little less. You're like, oh, so you're gonna stop doing it. You know what I mean?
Unless you're Mighty Mouse, who like has a job. He's an MMA fighter who's just a fucking, top tier athlete.
Okay.
With
Literally.
UFC and everything, but he had a job at Red Lobster while he was the UFC champ. It's incredible.
He was, and to that, like, you were talking about a dude, everyone else at that level was doing this
Eat,
full
sleep,
time.
breathe.
Full fucking time. Mighty Mouse was doing it an hour a week without a coach, and then he had a secondary coach, and it was his first big UFC fight that was hard.
badass.
Getting the championship, and they're like, "Hey, so do you want to quit Red Lobster? Yeah,
Yeah,
baby?
yeah.
Hey, homie, like put everything into this." He's like, "Oh, okay,"
I guess so.
and then he just started crushing.
Yeah, I'm in the UFC, but Red Lobster's my passion.
No, but well,
He's like, "I want to be the #1 server of all time."
related to all of that, you said you were living in Toronto, you were in a band, you started doing comedy, and then you moved to New York. What were you doing prior to? Like, what was your full-time job before? Like, were you?
I just had like
working-
random jobs. I never had because
just fucking
the
around.
band got kind of popular when I was like in college.
So the band was your job.
Yeah, and then but I did stuff like I would when the band was kind of popular, I started this little company making music videos. So I started kind of, and we were pretty like in. So I would make a lot of people's music videos, and I had a little company. I probably did like 15 a year, and then kind of while I was doing that, I was doing. Like, you know, we started doing the cable access show, but I would always I'd have like a couple, you know, gigs that just like, I don't know, you've done film stuff, right? I don't know if you ever had like gigs that like came to you over the years, but when I wasn't making enough money, I'd have these things where it's like, oh, this person has this video that they make. Do you want to make it? It took me 4 or 5 days. I would do it with my little company, make like 10 grand a year, have like 3 of those. And then you're like, okay, I make kind of like 25, 30 with my little thing, and then make, you know, 25 for my music video racket, and then make 30 in entertainment. And all those numbers are probably inflated, but like add the whole thing up to more like 50 or 60. And you're just like, okay, I kind of had like,
Which in American
rackets.
dollars is about 40, but
Right.
yeah.
So I had like rackets, you know what I mean? Like you'd make, and then, and you know, when I started comedy, and you know, they're probably after 2 or 3 years, I was making, you know, 15, 20 in comedy, and then 15, 20 here, and 15, 20 here. And then, so I kind of, I never had like, I had jobs before. I worked at a hockey rink. I worked for the city for a bit, but like mostly it was after college with the success of the band. I kind of partitioned that into having these like rackets, and then I had like my series at CBC that would make money, and I had all these little things like that.
What was the comedy money?
Film
like,
probably is the best way to describe it.
Where was the breakoff
Freelance
point where you were like, oh, I can fuck off. I make enough money that I can move to New York and do comedy full time.
Well, I could have moved before. I moved here at like 32. By like 29, like I was like a real person that, you know, like I wasn't, like I had, you know, enough of these little things. Like we had an office. So me and Danny, who I do my podcast, The Boys Cast with, we had a little office in Toronto that was all of our boys who were film people. And, you know, it was more like if you needed more work, there was always stuff. Like, and I was a really good editor, right? So there was always stuff I could do if I wanted to. But I always thought that was the best advice for like a young person that's trying to do something is like find out how to make 30 grand a year with the least amount of hours possible, so you can kind of spend your time doing other things, and then never nickel and dime the career you're pursuing. Like so many people are arguing over like $40 here and there. It's like, figure out a scheme to like get by, you know, that doesn't have to, if you're like a hot chick, bartending is a good scheme, but like rather figure out a scheme where you can like make enough to survive without worrying about that much. And then like kind of, then you can just be like, okay, I can just focus on this thing that I'm building.
Yeah, because I think all of us had the job of, well, like we all had like a job prior. Like there was the job that we did while we were doing the thing we wanted to do in the background.
So you did it that way.
Yeah. A lot of people, it's that I will move into this location and get it ready, and then I will supplement that job with everything else to make sure this lifestyle doesn't change. I want to do comedy. This is how I get comedy done.
Yeah. And maybe I would have thought of that if I hadn't been in this scenario where I was already like kind of famous before. So there's like a part, you know what I mean? It felt like weirdly, like if I was like kind of weirdly like half made it, if that makes sense. So I was more like I wanted to figure out rackets like in this thing a little bit.
Yeah, and it helps your overall job because now you're like, hey, I'm doing these skit comedy or whatever on the live shows.
You could convince yourself of that. Whether it was true, I could convince myself that kind of it's helping.
It does, dude, I would do that. I'm like, oh, well, at least I'm learning X, Y, and Z, and then I can apply it to this, and then I can figure.
Actually, you're basically doing it.
Yeah,
the thing.
I fucking got this all day because LA was that. I mean, the acting scene or LA scene was so different, especially at that time, like 2012. YouTube, no one gives a about. You need to be in the entertainment industry, and then you're trying to pay the bills with the YouTube or the side jobs, and then while doing your actor's card or if you're going that route.
Which, I mean, so many of those people too, like I remember the early days, like you could think of like Fred or whoever, they're like, oh yeah, the biggest thing is like Fred goes to Hollywood. You have somebody who's succeeding in like the influencer YouTube world going to try to be legitimate in the Hollywood scene, and then they tank. It's because like you don't realize like, okay, we are actually the new economy, and like and in freelance, it's like you're working for yourself instead of working for a studio that works for a union that works for who, and you got these 18 tiers up the chain. Whereas reality, like you're working,
you watch all these people, and you're just like, look at all those actors who you're now trying to be. It's like they're all trying to start a podcast. Like, you know what I mean?
Will Smith started a YouTube channel. Like, what does that tell you?
Oh, that would flip spots so fast with a lot of things because it is. Oh, I'm really big on this side, but I can't put butts in seats. I can't do a lot of stuff. Comedy, I know I've talked to WME or Freddie or any of these YouTube individuals. And they're like, man, they think just because they have this audience that naturally that audience will go to a show.
They might go once. It has to be,
And that is the hardest thing. It's like, no, I have an internet presence. Like, fucking congratulations. You didn't build a community aspect to it. No one's going to show up. And now these big theaters, these big shows, we'll do a 2,000 seat venue. 300 people show up. What the fuck's going on? I thought you said you could sell this out. Well, I thought that, they watch my YouTube videos. Doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah.
And how is that with the comedian YouTube space? Do you see a lot of comedian YouTubers trying to get on shows with you, or they're just not filling out seats? Like, how is that whole world coming from the traditional side of comedy?
Yeah, like the community thing that you're saying is funny because, like, in comedy, in a weird way, it's almost, I don't know if frowned upon is the right word, but like it feels like all of that stuff of, like the stuff that YouTubers do to like build a community almost feels like you're not supposed to do that or something.
Interesting.
You know what I mean? But
we have a long-standing joke. If you say community, we all have to drink.
Oh,
so you're us up over here.
Yeah, well, it's a little more like, this is the stuff I'm doing, and I'm kind of like I'm not babysitting a group of people. I'm making stuff, and if they like it, that's cool. But yeah, I mean, that's one of the things that's like in the last 3 years is happening like crazy. Is there's so many people that build this big audience, and then there's a million people being like, hey, you can make a lot of money if you go do a live performance for them. And then they're just like, what do I do? And then I can't think of, I kind of feel almost grateful that I was maybe the point where I was really selling tickets. I've been doing stand-up for 10 years, so I could kind of like handle, doing, but like being not good enough to do an hour of stand-up and then going and like disappointing, 500 people a night and then be like, and now I'm going to do this tomorrow. And then I'm going to do it tomorrow. It's like, I feel like that's torture.
Yeah, but I've disappointed one person a night for years. So like, it's not that big a deal.
And then they go, even Louis used to say about, this is a Louis C.K. quote, but he used to talk about when you guys were saying putting together the new hours, people were like, if you have like an hour of stand up and someone's like a big fan, and then you come back to their city like a couple years later, and it's this, and then they'll come the second time. And then if the second time it's like mostly the same kind of thing, they might even still have a good time, but they're not coming the third time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, if you want to build like, I do these tours and people come see me every time. It's like, the truth is a lot of those people just aren't capable of that right now from no fault of their own. They're just like not, it's not, if I got famous doing like trick shots and then I had to go play in the NBA, you know what I mean? Or whatever it was. So I feel like a lot of people are like struggling with like what to do with that. And some people are figuring it out. I mean, you guys are doing a podcast. Some people are like, I do this show where I kind of bring people, I kind of do 10 minutes, then we do like a Q&A and some people like figured out how to put together like a cool dating show or something. So I think people are figuring out.
You're talking about like Zach?
There's so many. I don't know the names of the people who do the dating shows, but I know there's some of them that seem pretty popular.
God, I'm trying to remember his last name, but Zach, he's like the guy that does like he brings in the girls and they do like the dating show like kind of stuff.
Dude,
it's fucking hilarious.
Yeah. So
Like,
people are figuring out like what does my live performance look like, and then probably after that they're figuring out like, do I actually want to do this?
It's hard because I can say from that side of the fence, you have, how do I say it? It is the company's like, well, they won't tour next year or we'll hold that back on them. And it's like, we don't give a shit about touring. We're doing this for everyone else. This is not, we give two. This is not our lifestyle.
Zach Justice.
Yeah, I know that guy. Yeah,
that guy.
I haven't seen his stuff.
Yeah.
Have you not?
You were talking
dude.
about the White Room thing.
Yeah.
No, I'm maybe he does a live version, but I'm just saying there's all these, random guys that build this big thing and they have this live, dating where the audience comes up or whatever. And
Doing that
there's just
live
like-
sounds fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Having no editorial control is that's a gamble, especially with something that sensitive.
Yeah, I guess so. But then, you got to figure something out if you want to tour.
Yeah,
But I guess the other side is you don't have to tour.
That's a big thing. A lot of people are learning that.
One of these days, Eli will figure that out.
We don't. We do not have to.
No,
We
it
do
is
it for
great to.
everyone else.
Why do we do it, Eli?
For the community.
Yeah, but podcasting isn't. I don't put podcasting in that same category. Like a podcast going doing live podcast is actually pretty normal.
I
don't see that as
for
in
yours
that category.
For yours, being able to do this for a year and a half at this point, 2.5 years, we now sell out 2,200 seat venues. Like in a week and a half, we will sell out a 2,200 seat.
What
venue.
does 2,200 seat venue mean?
Just 2,000 people.
2,000.
What does the 200 mean?
200 seats.
2,200 is what he's trying to say.
Yeah, 2,200. 2,200. Oh, yeah, 2,200. However you want to say that.
I knew you weren't saying 2,200 seat venues, but I was like, what are you saying?
That is how 2,000 or 3,286.
7 shows a day.
We do 2,000 bingo halls per year.
It's like, why are you doing so many shows?
Yeah, but I was like,
also awesome. Why are you working right now?
Why is every venue 2,200 seats?
We're really good at that. That is our max capacity. No more, no less.
This one's, yeah. That's awesome. Yeah.
Because how fast that happened, we got truly blessed with being 5 people on the stage and we get to interact and everyone has a good time. A lot of comedians, when we talk to them, they're like, how the fuck? That is really quick to scale that size. And at first, we didn't. We were like 400 seat venues and then we barely sold out.
I mean, our first one was like 300 seats.
Yeah. 300, 400 was.
It was
average.
we're like tonight, like laugh out loud. That was our, and we were nervous as
First.
Yeah, it was 300 seats and we were terrified.
Well, I mean, I'm sure there's some places where you'll go. Like, I mean, like I'm next week I'm doing 1,500 in Toronto, and then I'm doing 500 in Houston, and then tonight's going to be 300. Like, so
it scales.
Depends on it depends. I'm just saying it depends on where you go. You're like, and then if you go to London, then you're like, oh, well, this was 5. It depends on
Right.
So there's always a place where you're selling more tickets and less tickets if you want to go there is a question.
But even still, just like even though it's like fewer seats.
Sorry to interrupt, but I know for you guys it's the exact same amount every single place, 2,200.
I mean, we keep it like relatively close because it's big hubs too, where it's like Denver, Phoenix, Boston, like big conglomerates like that. But I just go back to our first ever show where we were all just terrified. Like I just remember the feeling in the green room. We're like, we've never been on stage before.
It was one of the biggest things. It's like we're used to talking behind a camera to millions of people. The second that millions turns into 300
and you started with a big place?
It was like 300
was the
a lot, right? Yeah, you didn't.
I mean, for a lot of people, that is like, but 300 to 500 during that first tour.
Enter stage left, Richard High.
Yeah. Exposed his butthole and testicles
right
to
on
the
stage.
entire crowd.
It was St. Patrick's Day.
Sick.
He was wearing a kilt and just mooned the whole fucking audience as we walked out. And we're like, well, that sets the tone. Like, all right, fair enough.
No, we don't have to worry. Period. Yeah, it's just that weird spot of how fast it evolved into that size. And we're truly blessed because we have a huge audience. But 2 million people behind a camera versus 300 people in front of them, absolutely fucking terrifying to all of us.
Yeah,
It
different
was like,
scale.
Cody. I can't like Cody hates it. He has the
Cody
largest
locks
audience.
the fuck up.
Do you know? Boston, I think it's the Wilbur Theater.
I did the Wilbur.
Yeah, we did the Wilbur last tour.
Yep.
And there's the base floor, the second floor, and then there's like a third floor way
Wilbur's
up top.
awesome.
It's f***ing cool. They call it like the Wall of Laughter.
Yeah, because they built a comedy club in the bottom.
Oh no shit.
That's the reason. Like, so if you like the part where it has the tables, feels like a comedy club. That's why everyone does their specials there.
No shit. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh,
So they have a theater, but then they have a little floor essentially in front of the theater that feels like a comedy club.
that's f***ing cool.
Yeah.
No. Well, when we did it, Cody, because the way the lighting was set up, Cody didn't know there was a third floor.
Oh yeah.
So he's got massive stage fright, and like at one point, like one of us just like, "Hey, Cody, look up there," and he goes, "Oh fuck!" Just had no clue there was an entire extra 300 fucking people there.
Isn't that a wild time though? There's some podcasts that do like a live podcast and they do a arena, and you're just like, man, what a wild dude. There's this podcast in Quebec. I think it's Mike Ward's podcast. They did the basketball sports stadium,
Right.
Just in two guys just chatting.
And like logical brain, it makes sense, but like caveman brain, none of the shit computes.
Yeah. Well, the rules are all there is none.
Yeah.
We were terrified with the 360.
Oh, dude.
Wait, you guys did a 360? Place?
Phoenix?
It was
Yeah.
all the way around?
Yeah, Phoenix, and it was
That's weird.
It was a 240, because it was one of those things. It's like, how the fuck? We are on a table. We are the people behind us won't have a good time. We need to like push everyone this way. Huh?
The only place there wasn't people was the entrance ramp behind us.
Yeah.
It was, I'm like, oh yeah, a table full of veterans, famously comfortable with people sitting behind them for an hour and a half.
Terrified. What is it like for you when you walk out on that? Or do you sit? What's your actual stage presence like
I
for
stand,
stuff
yeah,
like
yeah.
that? Now, are you walking and looking at each area when you walk and talk?
Dude, honestly, this stuff it just doesn't feel like anything to me.
That's why.
Like it really, I don't know, like I guess I've been performing since I was like 16, but it's not even like a nervous thing or not. I'm more like in my head, like, okay, I'm going to think about, maybe I might be thinking about something like, okay, I want to try this new thing or I want to do that. But like the actual, everyone's here. Like I just feel nothing. It's like irrelevant.
So go see his shows.
Yeah.
He doesn't care about you at all.
That's what you want.
Humility check. What was everybody's first job?
No, you'd be like, if you walked into I feel the way that if I walked into a room with my friends. Like if I walked into a room with like my buddies, I'm not like, I'm not like nervous.
So you just lost the nerves every time.
Yeah, it just feels regular. You do it every single night. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just feels like regular.
The last show, that's when they open the doors, like, hey, 5 minutes. I usually sleep before a show. I'll take my naps. Brandon's like, oh, it hit. I'm like, huh?
You guys have by the way, do you guys have a stand-up that does anything before you guys go on?
No, it's
You
just
should.
straight.
I've said that.
That'll make it easier because going first is notoriously a little harder.
Especially in San Antonio, we have so many friends like Justin Governal, like people that do
Have a local
comedy
person
here.
do 10 minutes before. That'll make it better for you.
I feel like we should.
But the crowd, what do we walk out to? Thunderous fucking applause.
At the same time,
Thunderous
I
applause.
feel like it's also good for the
Guns.
audience too. Like 10
It warms them up.
Yeah. 10 minutes of just like, you're warmed up, you're ready to laugh, you're having a good time while you're waiting for the,
That's a no-brainer. That would be like 101 if I was like looking at the show. I'd
put
be
this
like,
forward.
Yeah, put someone before. Have someone do something beforehand. Yeah.
It'd be interesting to try it because it'd be because Jake gets booed going on stage just for his. Jake will be on stage, and this is
Well, that
our
sounds
lawyer.
like a Jake problem.
Well, he goes on, and it's like, hey, I'm speaking for this, not this. And Jake's not even into the intro of like, hey, no cell phones. He does his little bit, but people are like, we didn't pay for you. And you're like, Jesus Christ, audience. That's why I would not want to put that on any comedian where they're like, hey, what's up? It's Justin Governal.
we have so many.
Jesus, fuck, guys.
We have so many comedians that are former podcast guests, though.
Yeah. Do you think our audience is going to be kind of
Yeah.
the lawyer is
I
getting
do.
wrecked to
Find a
say,
guy-
hey, don't record.
No, what you need is a guy that does film and tour, and they'll be like tour with us, and he's also kind of worked for you.
We're going to just throw you on stage next time.
Well, you can't afford me. No. No, I'm just joking. But yeah,
That's not a lie. All right.
Honestly, I bet you would do it and you'd be like, oh shit, that's way better.
It'd be a good fucking. Let's test it for next year.
I feel like we should. Like I've been hard on that. That I think that like
You have an opener.
yeah, and because pretty much even every big musician and whatnot, when they do a big tour, they have openers and stuff like
Yeah,
that. Just
yeah.
it's something to keep people entertained if they show up early, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And if people miss it, then they miss it, whatever. But it's I don't know, it keeps
Kind of like
people
everything
entertained.
where you, like a lot of mediums that you're like, we'll do it differently. And then like after a few years, you're like, there's a reason everyone did it like that. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, we've had delay shows. Iowa's a great example. 45-minute delay because 60% of the audience tried to bring in guns. And they had to go back to their car. Now we're delaying.
You laugh.
Now
It
they're
happened.
delaying it, and then they're like, "Why isn't the show starting yet?"
Dude,
And you're
your
like,
baby's like
fucking pause.
your show's like a little baby show. The rapper.
Yeah, literally.
Oh.
Everyone was bringing guns, and like, hey, they delayed it by like 45 minutes
Oh my
the first
God.
show because it was like everyone's trying to bring in guns.
I think
right
same thing
now.
happened to Cat Williams.
Well, yeah.
It's so funny. Yeah, you guys are dealing with gangster rap problems.
They tried to bring guns in here.
It was the fucking, the Nashville show where they came back. The management came back. They were like, "Hey, we're glad you're here. This. The staff is a little concerned. A lot of your people are trying to bring in firearms
Like open carry.
We're no, not even that.
concealed.
Just like they're just like, well, we're worried that they're bring in firearms. We're like, no, not our crowd. They know the rules. They know the laws, stuff like that. And then we walk outside and there's a guy carrying a fucking AT-4. Like, well,
They want us to sign.
check it out.
That's so funny.
I get it's an empty tube, but when you're dealing with a fucking arena that doesn't deal with this shit, yeah, I get it.
So where's the rest of your tour?
That's
at?
so funny. I'm just like kind of on tour always. Like I try to do about 2 weekends a month is like what I think like makes sense for me. So right now, I guess I don't know when this is going to come out, but San Antonio's tonight, Houston and Austin are sold out. But then I don't think you guys have. Do you mind if I pull out my dates? And just
No, not at all.
literally the purpose.
Yeah, by all means.
Tell
Thank
them.
you. But yeah, then I'm doing big theater in Toronto. Ottawa still has some tickets. Toronto's basically sold out. But then Miami, Naples, Jacksonville, little Florida run, San Francisco, Sacramento, Philadelphia, Madison, Vancouver, Portland, Minneapolis, Lansing Theater, Chicago, Detroit, Winnipeg, Spokane, Phoenix, Santa Ana, Pueblo, Boston, Halifax, Nashville, Kansas City, Calgary, DC, Providence. RyanLongComedy.com.
And so when's your last date on that tour?
It's always like it's kind of just so the way that I am currently doing it is not like just one big tour. It's more that I do about 24 weekends a year sort of thing, and that just kind of goes on forever. When I do release a special, I'll probably take like 4 months off to do press and work on stuff and this and that, but it's kind of just that's like that I'm trying to be in like you're trying to more like systemize like a manageable life as opposed to like it's off then it's on, it's off then it's on. This is just kind of like always
24 is a metric shit ton, and also send that to show so we can put that up
Okay,
on
sick,
screen
yeah,
so everyone knows the
And
exact
Do
dates.
the read.
I get that we all we're privileged to be able to do the job that we have, right?
Yeah, I
But
think so.
Do you still enjoy it?
Yeah. To be honest, it's the problem with being busy. I'm sure it's like there's too much stuff other than the thing. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's funny because I used to look back at, when I was probably like 4 years into this or whatever, and you'd be like, man, it'd be so sick to be there. And then you could just do stand up and you're like, actually here is when I had nothing.
Yeah.
This is when I could. Now it's like you're doing stand up while managing a lot of other things, So to me, it's like the thing that I like most is when I'm like, my whole life is problem I'm trying to solve is how can I mostly just focus on the things, So with stand up, I do love. The problem is that it's hard to really do when you're doing a million other things. So most of my time is spent, how can I do the least amount of other things and actually just do this?
Start
You know what I
hiring
mean?
people.
Yeah.
Where can everyone find you on social media?
All of my socials are at Ryan Long Comedy, and the podcast is The Boys Cast with Ryan Long.
Who do you do the boys cast with?
Danny Polishchuk, and he's a comedian also from Toronto that lives in New York as well. You might have seen his stuff. He does a lot of funny sketches and stuff.
Probably,
like that.
yeah. It's probably, again, it's one of those things that comes across your feed all the time, and you're just like, oh shit, that guy.
Yeah. No, that's what I was saying to you guys. I don't. It's like cool. I've obviously seen like your face and your face a bunch of times, but
Fuck you, Connor.
Who the f am I?
No, I've seen the podcast, and I remember my first note was I was like, that looks really good.
Don't make him feel good.
I remember thinking your shit looks really good, and then I don't know. I was just like impressed with it's cool that there's these, you're like, oh, just. Who's that guy? And you go, oh yeah, they're making crazy money just doing this. Like, you don't need anyone. And to me, that's like cool when you meet other people that are just in like a different, like slightly different thing. I'm sure there's some crossover on people we know and stuff like that. But I don't know. I think it's sick.
Well, it's been a genuine pleasure to disappoint you in person.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad you guys are touring, man. I'm glad it's going well.
Not tell fucking.
If you come to New York, I'll come to the show. If you come to New York or Jersey again, are you going to come to New York? Have you done New York?
We have.
We did Jersey. I don't think we'll go back there, but we might do New York. Who knows?
Some cool theaters in New York, man. That's like harder to make money.
The idea is
our goal.
Eli's always wanted to do Madison Square Garden. So
yeah, that'd be sick, dude.
We've scaled right now 300, 800. 2,000 sold out. So this one will be 5,000 seats. If we can sell out 4 venues at 5,000 seats each, then we'll get Madison Square Garden for 20.
You know, want another life hack?
I have this fucking dialed into a goddamn science.
Well, here's
it's a fucking stretch goal, but at the same time, if we just do one fucking big unsub tour, like this is the unsub mecca.
Yeah.
This is the only show we're doing the entire tour. All unsub fans there. I think maybe we can do it.
Yeah.
We won't sell it out.
Oh, we will. I will make that a fucking thing. Oh, we will make an event around it.
Sounds like a challenge.
Yeah. Well, you're right. Literally rent out an arena. Make the tickets affordable so people will actually do it.
Yeah.
Cut out a ticketing service.
Oh, they get yeah. We're thankfully super blessed on even who we work with on any of the aspect because know that.
No, the only reason I was saying that is I was like, if you're trying to sell out an arena and the goal is like how many tickets can we sell, you want to like cut out all these, like get it down to $25. Like, you know what I mean? Like that. All I was saying was like in this one situation where you're like, my goal is just sell like as many as possible and trying to step up. Well, one of the ways to help that is like, how can we get these tickets as cheap as possible?
Fill this bitch out, and then we have fear.
Go, Connor. Soon to sell out Madison Square Garden. Thank you for tuning in to the Unsubscribed podcast. As always, I've been joined by Eli Doubletap, the one, the only Ryan. Some have called him the longest long
gun guy.
Big gun guy, huge gun guy. Future Congressman Brandon Herrera and myself, Fishman. Thank you for tuning in. As always, Ryan, where can we find you?
Again?
One more time. We're just going to rinse, repeat.
Very nice with all this promo you're giving.
That's what we're doing.
RyanLongComedy.com, YouTube.com/RyanLongComedy.
BigDickComedy.com.
We love you guys. Kisses. Fuck you.